Hello, happy Tuesday. It is not a top 5 night, which means it is a party chat night. So I've been looking forward to getting back to another episode of Party Chat. Even though it was 2 weeks ago, it still feels like a really long time because it's always fun to talk games with these awesome co-hosts and our special guest tonight. So joining me are my usual co-hosts of Carl, who is a Doug Trio tonight. Hello, how are you, Doug Trio Carl?
I'm doing okay. How are yourself?
Doing good. I've been looking forward to chatting with you some more. So I know we're going to have a good episode tonight.
Hell yeah.
So, and my other awesome co-host, Ryan, who is off camera for internet reasons, which I may have to do as well. Hopefully not, but good. Glad you could join me, Ryan. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing outstanding. Actually, you actually look pretty good on your camera, so it doesn't seem to be lagging. Mine was being wonky earlier. So yeah, no, it's gonna be good. I like party chat, and it's a lot of fun. Even though 2 weeks does seem forever ago, at the same time, it went so fast.
Yep, I know what you mean. So, well, thank you for joining me as always. And tonight we have a good friend of mine who is my co-host on Achievement Chasers, but has not been on Party Chat before due to the shifting of the schedule. He is able to join us tonight for Party Chat, and that's my good buddy Dude1286.
Howdy.
What's up, dude?
Doing pretty good. Let's get some party chat going.
Yeah. So,
Just don't make me be the only one with an actual camera.
no, I will unless my internet starts dropping like it did last night. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, because I didn't really put a tweet out or anything, but my internet was being completely stupid last night. I could not get more than 1.5 megabits on my upload speed for some stupid reason. I spent an hour on the phone with Comcast, and they're sending me a new router modem. Well, it's a combo, but I don't use the router part. I just use the modem. I put it in bridge because I have a better router myself. But anyways, they're going to send me a new one. Hopefully it resolves the issue. But hopefully I'll be able to stay on camera tonight. But yeah, it was so bad. I was like, I'm not even going to stream tonight, which I was kind of pissed about because I was looking forward to playing some more AM2R. But instead, I played off stream, what I'll be talking about in just a couple minutes. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to stay on camera. So, but hello, everyone. And yeah, 2 days of Halloween. Hope you guys have, if you are doing anything for Halloween, hope you have fun and stay safe. So with that, we'll go ahead and start off with our usual of what we've been playing lately. And dude, since you are the guest, I will go ahead and let you go first for anyone who doesn't watch you on Rumble.
And also, who also doesn't watch Achievement Chasers, which is going to happen next week, isn't it?
Yes, our next episode of Achievement Chasers will be next Thursday.
Actually, today I've been playing Final Fantasy IV on the Xbox since.
Oh, on the new Pixel remaster.
Yeah, well, it's not really new. It's just the new release on Xbox that they finally just decided to finally get Square to get off their butts and put it on there.
Because it's been out for a while. It just wasn't on Xbox until recently. Yep. Is that right?
And then I realized that, hey, if I want to go back through these games again on PlayStation, I'd rather just go buy the physical copy. So I ended up buying a physical copy sealed at the same price as if you would get the digital versions all together in one group.
Okay.
So I can go through it on PlayStation again as well.
Nice.
I've gone through 1, 2, and I've already gone through 1, 2, and 3, and I'm pretty much almost done with 4. I'm about to go to the moon.
Okay, so when it comes to achievements, is it because it's a collection of how many
on Xbox? They are separate games.
Okay, but I
think they are on PlayStation as well.
You buy it as one package, but they're all separate achievement lists. Is that right?
Well, you can buy a bundle that has all of them. They can be You can buy them individually.
Got it. So you can't buy them individually. It's not like you can only buy them in the collection.
Yeah. It's just that for that first week or two that you could get them for like $60 instead of $75 as a bundle.
Okay. And it comes with 1 through 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they're 1,000 gamer score each?
Yes.
Okay. That explains a lot because I was looking at not that I've been playing much Xbox this month, but I was looking at my leaderboard and dude's right above me on my monthly leaderboard in gamer score. He's got me by like 400 gamer score. And I'm like, I'm
not even really trying, to be honest.
It's because you've been playing the Final Fantasy games, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can use the speed up function in the battles that makes it go a bit faster.
Nice. Okay. So, and the other thing that you've been playing, I won't spoil it because I'm assuming you're probably saving it for one of the topics we have tonight.
Actually, no, I actually don't normally play Luigi's Mansion for Halloween.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've played it, so I finally finished that up last night.
Yeah, and got
all the achievements for that
another completion for you on your retro achievements.
on GameCube too. So that's my 14th mastery on GameCube.
Nice.
Already.
Yeah, and I've got 2. But well, cool. Good stuff. Ryan, you didn't really have anything to talk about last episode. Do you have anything to talk about? What you've been playing this, or are you still
I
not playing
actually
much?
do. I actually do.
All right.
Ironically, starting tomorrow night, I'm going to be playing with Horny Alf, Mustang, and I can't remember who else. We're going to be playing World of Warships.
Oh, I thought you were about to say World of Warcraft, but
no.
So that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, World of Warships, and it's basically you start out with kind of like World War II warships and stuff like that, and you build them up and you battle, and it's you start out against the AI and then you play against actual players, but they do it every Wednesday night. I've meant to do it for a long time, but I didn't have basically the Xbox to do it. I had it on Steam, and that doesn't work. So
there's no crossplay.
No crossplay.
It's only consoles and consoles, from what I understand. Steam is standalone. So I actually
crossplay, but not with PC.
Yeah, well, actually, it does, because if you download the Game Center, and I'm blanking on what it's literally called, wargaming.net Game Center, you can actually play it on PC and play it with online people. So I verified with Alf. So yeah, tomorrow night. Well, I've been playing it on my own to build up my arsenal, and then tomorrow night we're gonna be doing kind of the same thing we're doing here, but we're playing this game, and I'm going to try not to say bad words.
Yeah, we'll be hearing bad words from Neo tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'm sure. So yeah, I don't know if you're aware, Ryan, but on Wednesday nights, Dude here has been, because he's familiar with the franchise and I am not. So back in September, or might even have been the end of August, we started doing Dude Souls on Wednesday night, where he's coaching me through Dark Souls, and
he just got to On Orlando.
Yeah, I just got to On Orlando, so my next boss is Ornstein and Smaug.
No, your next boss is actually a Silver Knight.
Oh, okay. Well,
and anyone that's been through Dark Souls knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know anything about Silver Knight, but I know about Ornstein and Smough, or whatever his name is, and I'm not looking forward to that. So
you can't even say it.
I don't know how it's pronounced, because they don't, as far as I know, they don't actually say it in the game. It's just text on screen.
No, so I am not a Dark Souls fan. I could never. I'm not good enough. Quite frankly, I play on easy or normal mode, and I'm okay with that. So I'll leave the hair pulling out to other people.
I have every achievement in every Souls game on Xbox.
So yeah. So if you aren't aware, Dude is crazy. He's got I have a lot higher gamer score, but he has a lot more, like, way more difficult completions. Like, he has the completion in Master Chief Collection and the first 3 Gears games, which are all insane completions.
And now
I will never have any of those.
Now all the DMC games as well.
That's right, and all the DMC games. I will never have any of those. So he takes what I do to the next level. So yeah, he's quite the achievement hunter, and very much more of a completionist than I am by a long shot. So but yeah, I had started Dark Souls a long time ago. I just got the first achievement, and I was like, I'll get back to it eventually. And I just haven't had any desire to play it. And so once I met Dude and him being well versed in it, I'm like, well, it'd be much better to play through this game with someone who actually knows what they're doing, and they kind of guide me, coach me through. So we've been doing that on Wednesday nights. So, and Carl, what about you? I think I have an idea of what you've been playing, but go ahead and let us know what you've been playing.
Well, first, what's the idea you think I've been playing?
ReFantazio.
Yes, and Black Ops 6.
Oh, is that out already?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When did that come out this week?
Last week.
Last week. Oh, yeah. I don't pay attention to Call of Duty, so.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
I haven't paid attention to Call of Duty since Black Ops 2, and the fact that this one's campaign is you can only play it while you're connected to the internet, I'm out.
You can only play the campaign. You have to be online to play the campaign. Is that what?
Yes.
Yeah, they did a weird thing where they
That's
connected
so
it to
dumb.
like this weird hub, and it connects to all the other Call of Duties too. It's very bizarre.
That's so
I've
dumb.
connected to the hub, but not that one.
But
TMI.
besides that, just played a couple levels of it last night. Pretty fun. You know, a lot of people were saying it's good. I would say,
You're talking COD, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I played a little bit of it. It's on Game Pass, so decided to just kind of check it out since a lot of people were saying good things about it, and so far positive. Too early to tell.
Okay. And
I do have every achievement in Call of Duty from 2 to I think Ghosts on Xbox.
wait, what the? All right.
Oh wait, no, I don't have all of them in Black Ops 2.
So while we're on the topic of Call of Duty, dude, do you know what the deal is? I just pulled up Black Ops 6 on True Achievements, and there's no achievements yet, and it's been out for a week.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. I'll have to look into this more.
Unless because it's part of another game, it'll just be added as a new set of achievements to
they
the hub.
did. Call of Duty from 2022, which is Modern Warfare 2, now has Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 6. Stop combining them into a single achievement list, you douchebags.
Here's the thing, though. People always say Call of Duty is just an upgrade, is just an update of last year. Now they're just confirming it.
Just put them into separate achievement lists, though.
I think it might be a little bit harder to do that whenever
stupid.
whenever they're part of the same game, part of the same application.
That's so freaking retarded. That pisses me off when they put multiple games into one achievement list. God, I hate that. So, well, and how are you liking ReFantasio?
I'm still liking it. It's really fun. Definitely doesn't pull its punches with the storyline, that's for sure. Gets into a lot of deep philosophical questions. Definitely really good high fantasy. Really have been enjoying it a lot. It's very brutal. The combat is definitely not forgiving. If you make one mistake, they kick your teeth in.
And what platform are you playing that on? You playing it on Xbox?
Yeah, I'm playing everything on Xbox.
Okay. ReFantasio? Yeah, Metaphor ReFantasio. That's I spelled it wrong. There we go. Just want to pull it up. Looks like been out for a couple weeks, 80 to 100-hour completion. So, yeah, good.
It's nice it actually came out on Xbox. Usually JRPGs kind of skip it.
Microsoft's been doing a good job, at least trying to get a lot of that stuff over there.
Yeah,
they try, but they always have holes, and then there's always lapses of times where they don't get anything.
Yeah, there's also a thing right now with Capcom and a lot of their older games that they've actually worked on, because that new Capcom
Fighting Game Collection
that's coming out, yeah, that one is actually coming to Xbox later. They are apparently figuring out something with that.
Oh, that's right. They did say that there, because it originally wasn't going to come to Xbox, and then I guess because a lot of people made a fuss about it, they decided to bring it to Xbox. And I hope that means that there's hope that maybe we'll get the Mega Man Battle Network collection on Xbox. It's the only Mega Man collection that isn't on Xbox, and it pisses me off.
It is sad that most of that they always tend to skip out on physical copies of these games, though, because Pixel Remaster came out physically on PlayStation and Nintendo, but
digital only.
It was
Xbox.
It was still a limited release, but they never came. They're never going to come physically to Xbox
unless someone like Limited Run Games does it.
Yeah,
I did get the Yakuza games from Limited Run because I wanted my Xbox physical copy.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, though, I have been going through all my Xbox games recently to see which games can be played straight off the disc. The only franchise that actually has been consistent in not being able to be played without online has been the Call of Duty series. Unless it's like online, unless it's like an actual game that requires servers, like that makes sense. But like Call of Duty still has single player content, and you could still play like the survival mode solo.
It's just Call of Duty. They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that this one's being received highly rated after the last one. So
Modern Warfare 3.
Well, it's Treyarch. Usually they at worst is just mid.
Yeah.
Who did Vanguard?
Sledgehammer.
Yeah,
Oh, that was Sledgehammer. Okay, I thought
And
that
Sledgehammer
was
is considered the worst of the three.
Oh, there's 3 now.
There's
Yeah, there's
always
been
been three.
Well, there's
Infinity
been 3
War,
since the Xbox One
Treyarch,
era.
and Sledgehammer.
Well,
Well,
it's been
Sledgehammer
3
wasn't
since
around.
the Xbox One era started.
Okay, yeah, because I was like back in the day it was Infinity Ward and Treyarch. I didn't realize there was the third
Yeah.
one.
Well, there's also Raven that was also a support studio with them too.
Yeah, they were a much better studio before they were relegated to Call of Duty crap.
Pride of Wisconsin, Raven.
So, but yeah, last thing on ReFantasio on True Achievements, it's got a 4.9 rating from the community. So, sounds
It's
like
really good.
A lot of people are liking it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's the best way I can say it. I am close to 30 hours right now, and it keeps getting better.
Nice. So, all right. Well, I saw a couple of friendly faces here in chat. Christian Frades is here saying hi. Good evening, Christian. Good to see you. And Paul is here as well saying, what's up, peeps? Hello, Paul. Hope you're doing well tonight. And we'll go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. So first up, as I usually like to start off with the topic suggested by our guest. And as we were mentioning, I think it was while we were live, might have been before we started. Dude here is a big fan of the Dynasty Warriors games, and he has completions in a lot of them, both on Xbox and on Retro Achievements.
And on PlayStation.
And on PlayStation, that's right. I always forget about that one. But he's a big fan of Dynasty Warriors. So he wanted to ask each of us because the Dynasty Warriors games cover a couple of different, I don't even know, like genres isn't even the right word to use, but they've got historical ones.
You got anime, and you got video games.
Exactly. You got anime and you got like video game franchises. So his question was, what any one of those 3 would make a great setting for another Dynasty Warriors type game, whether it's some historical battle that hasn't been done before, some other video game franchise that would fit well, or what's another anime that would fit well into a Dynasty Warriors style game. So great question. So, dude, what?
I actually would prefer if you guys answered first.
Okay,
I have a couple of answers.
We'll have Dude go last since he's so familiar with the Dynasty Warriors game. So,
because then I can let you guys go, and then I could choose based on which one. If you guys chose any of the ones I chose.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. So, Ryan and Carl, I'm very curious to hear what you guys have input is on this one, given that you guys are both big on history. I figured you'd probably go with a historical setting that might make for a great Dynasty Warriors style game, but maybe not. But I'd love to hear from you guys what you think would make for a great Dynasty Warriors game.
Carl, you want to go first, or
you go first on this one?
Okay. All right. So Dynasty Warriors. I'm going to be honest. I don't know anything about this franchise, but it's historically based. So
you've at least seen it before, right? Because I've never played it either, but I know kind of like how the game's.
No, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Actually, Paul, there has never been a Dragon Ball Warriors game.
Oh.
My pick would be probably in the neighborhood. If I couldn't do, of course, feudal Japan is one of my favorites. Way of the Samurai is
well, you could do
game.
any period of Japan that wasn't the Warring States period.
No, I know, but I don't want to do that. I think if it was,
it's already been done though, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, no, I know. The reason I'm saying this is that I would actually want to bring it into a more modern era where people would understand, and I would probably go with World War I. And because quite frankly, it's something that's very historically accurate, and it would tell an incredible story because it was a war that the world had never seen to that date. It was called literally the Great War for the longest time until we.
And that war wasn't exclusively fought with guns. There were people using bayonets and swords.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. So that's
it would feel like the last war you could probably do the Warriors franchise like, and it's not like they haven't not done a gun wielder because during in the Samurai Warriors what their first time that they added a gun wielder was based on the Psycho Mercenaries.
I just thought that would be like very interesting because the world was very much at change and not in a great way. And it was we were being thrust into a certain modern age. And it was kind of like old in bringing in the new. What's up, Alf? Sorry.
Oh, hey, horny Alf. Ryan was just talking about you.
Yeah, we were
Good
talking
to see
about World Warships tomorrow night. So yeah, I would say probably World War One would be maybe the beginning when it'd be very interesting, very interesting.
Yes, it would be fun. The opening scene of it, a bunch of French people are charging a hill and they get mowed down by a machine gun. That's the World War One motto right there. We used old tactics until a machine gun mowed us down, and then we got mustard gas. World War One.
That's true.
Yeah,
The charge of the light brigade. That's a fun story there.
Yeah, I was thinking about what would make for a good one. But I was like, I don't know much about like the outside of like the actual Dynasty Warriors games, like how they play. So I just kind of keeping that in mind. I was like, yeah,
Most of the other Warriors games
modern,
tend to play the same way as Dynasty Warriors. It's just that they have some of their own different mechanics. But I think the one that went the most different was out of the ones that were still considered Warriors games in my list. There was like two others that weren't really considered Warriors games, but they're done by the same company or developer. But the one that was the most different was Warriors Legends of Troy. And I think that was actually done by a Canadian company, actually.
Okay. But what I was trying to keep in mind was like, yeah, because a lot of these are historical, bringing firearms into it would probably change the dynamic of the game. So that's why when you said like World War One, they still use a lot of like hand-to-hand combat. So I tried, I was like, yeah, that could still work because they did have guns, but it wasn't as heavily focused on guns like World War II was. So okay, yeah, World War One. I could see that.
Yeah, and you could have so many different nations, generals, and being playable and stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be.
And it would be funny to have a special mustachioed man playable in a World War One game.
There you go.
How old was he in World War One?
Like 20s?
Early 20s.
Okay,
early 20s, late teens.
We could have Walt Disney in the game.
I think it was like 22, roughly.
You could be ambulance driver Walt Disney in Musso game.
So, all right, Carl, what about you? What would you like to see as a Dynasty Warriors style game?
If I was going to go and say we're going to make a Musso game, I would say I would have more fun with it and go with a more obscure history point in time, base it off of Bactria. And if anyone doesn't know the story about Bactria, it was the farthest province Alexander conquered that had a very big mixture of Greek and Buddhist culture. So they had some very interesting stories where like Hercules was like the defender of Buddha and all that stuff. It was a very interesting blend of Persian, Buddhist, and Greek cultures. So I feel like you could just go off the rails and just like make
you could bring the fantastical into it and even more
over the top storyline. Like you could just play as Hercules, just chilling with Buddha, and you're just messing up giant armies in the name of Buddha or something like that.
Hey, Warriors Orochi has, of course, Orochimaru and Susanoo and all of them. So
yeah, so you can get into that storyline too. Plus, I feel like it's a very obscure part of history that a lot of people don't really know about too much.
They just know it happened.
People barely even know it happened.
Well, they know that Alexander was conquering. They just don't know exactly the areas he was conquering.
Well, it's just like a lot of people in both the West and Eastern cultures don't really think about this like weird point in time because how we're taught is more so like very basic and run through. But like I said, history's full of like so many interesting time periods and different types of cultures that mix that have never been like fully explored or talked about. I feel like that's one that I would like to see people just run wild with because, its imagination is already insane just from the concept of just blending, Buddhist ideology, Buddhist lore with Greek ideology and Greek lore. So I was like, yeah, let's just go have fun.
Nice. Yeah, I only ever heard Bactria for the first time from you not that long ago. I don't remember what we were talking about. But yeah, it's definitely not something that I think I even knew existed.
I-
Like you said, I knew Alexander the Great conquered like a lot of area, but I didn't know anything about Bactria.
Yeah, it's very obscure. I think I was talking to Zatris about that.
Oh, okay, that could have been when I was listening to one of your streams. That sounds familiar. So cool. As for myself, I wanted to come up with one for each of the 3 video games, historical and anime, but I don't know enough about anime, so I didn't come up with anything on that one. But for historical, I don't know if like I said, I haven't played any Dynasty Warriors games, so I don't know if this might have been covered in the one you mentioned, the Legends of Troy, but I thought like the Battle of Thermopylae and the Spartans and the 300 would be a cool.
That wasn't covered in there because that was just the Trojan War.
Okay, that I was gonna say, since it says Trojan War, I'm assuming it probably wasn't in there. So I think that'd be a great answer. Would be the Spartans.
What's crazy is that the Warriors Legends of Troy is the actual combat is very grounded, but then they still have fantastical things like you fighting a statue that was brought to life by the gods.
Okay. So that was the first thing that I thought of when you asked this question. Is like, assuming that is not part of the Legend of Troy game, then I would say 300 Spartans and Thermopylae, and maybe expand that out and do like
you could probably do it the entire. They would probably do the entire war with the Persians.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be
because just
awesome.
the Battle of Thermopylae in that section with 300 wouldn't be enough.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like that could probably be like maybe a level or a couple levels. It wouldn't be enough for like a whole game.
It could probably be in like 3 or 4 levels because of how long they held out.
Yeah, but yeah, that whole campaign against the Persians could probably make a cool Warriors style game. But another thing I thought of was also kind of like what Carl was talking about was Alexander's. I just wrote that like because I don't know exactly how long. You guys being history buffs would probably be able to answer this, but like how long was the reign of the Roman Empire and where in that?
Like 1,000 years, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was like a really long time, and where in that was
there's like
the
that was predating the Roman Empire.
Yeah, Alexander was way earlier than the Roman Empire, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then there's also a debate on what was the actual end of the Roman Empire, but I could go into like a whole spiel about that, which I will not bore your audience.
Okay. Well, the other thing I thought would be cool would probably be like the Roman Empire and their conquering of all wherever it was that they expanded to. That could also make for a pretty cool.
There's a lot of like history that you could point out to if you want to go with like the warring states or something in Japan. Like you could do like the War of the Diadochi, you could do the Punic Wars, you can do the Germanic Wars, you can take the conquest of Britain and everything else like that. There's a lot of good like brutal over the top like content you can make just off of like the Eastern, and not even just that, but you can also go into like if you want to get into it, the rise of the Ottomans, the rise of the Mongolians, the reconquest of Spain, the Vikings. You can just really just make a Muso game out of any time period if you want. There's enough like crazy battles that you could just over exaggerate if you really wish.
Agreed. I do have a question. Have you ever seen Gladiator?
Oh,
yeah,
such a great movie.
Okay, so you've seen that. Then you understand the reach of the height of the Roman Empire.
Yes.
Yeah, because at the beginning like in England.
Well, yeah, it was against the I'm sorry, the Germanic tribes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was in whatever Germany was called at that time.
So yeah, it was.
I thought it was
Germania.
Germania.
Yeah, it was in Germania, which was not just Germany as we know it to this date. It encompassed a lot of other territories, including France and stuff like that. But so yes, it started.
I know at the height of the Roman Empire, it went all the way into England.
Yes, it did.
Well, the farthest that the Romans ever got was to Babylon, and even as far south as close to modern-day Ethiopia. Obviously, they conquered almost all the way up to northern Scotland. They had plans to invade Ireland. Then they never folded. The only people that they had issues with really conquering were the Parthians, which they were constantly at war with, and then of course the Germans. They were never able to fully pacify Germania. It was more so like we kind of have like a mutual understanding after a while.
You know, Carl, I do a history show every once in a while where we do review documentaries. I need to invite you on.
I'm just here waiting.
Okay, well, I see.
Yes.
Well, now that we're exploring this, I need to invite you on.
You guys definitely need to talk history. That's for sure. So,
Definitely.
and so as for video game franchises that I thought could make for a cool warrior style game, one of my favorite hack and slash games, and I mention it all the time, Ninja Gaiden. I think that could be a pretty interesting.
What's funny is Ninja Gaiden was actually put into Warriors Orochi.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet. So I guess
It was
it's
mostly
already
like
partially there.
it was like mostly Ryu. I think most of the other characters were more from the Dead or Alive series than the Ninja Gaiden. Like I think you had the two Ninja Girls and Rachel.
Yeah, and Rachel, Ayane, and Kasumi are probably the ones. They're all from Ninja Gaiden.
And they had their original suits too.
And then Momiji was also introduced in Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, which is the one on DS. I think she was later incorporated into the Dead or Alive franchise as a whole. But yeah, Ninja
So
Gaiden.
I mean, you could probably
would be
do that
cool.
as both Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive together.
Yeah,
one.
you could do it the whole franchise. But I say Ninja Gaiden because Ninja Gaiden, is a hack and slash using weapons, whereas most of the other characters are all just like hand to hand because it's just a fighting game. But yeah, they could definitely.
They could find them. They could give them weapons that are like more martial arts style.
Exactly.
To flesh it out, and it's
So,
not
yeah,
like
you
they
got plenty
haven't
of characters.
done hand-to-hand combat people either.
Yeah.
So
So plenty of characters, so that'd be cool. And then the other one I thought of would be obviously Star Wars is like a huge franchise, but I was thinking kind of along the lines of The Force Unleashed. If you took that kind of framework and plug that into Dynasty Warriors, I thought that'd be kind of cool.
yeah, it'd be pretty decent.
There we go.
So those are my answers. So curious.
I'm actually amazed that none of my choices were actually
None of
chosen.
yours.
So
All right.
I'll go for the first one that I thought that you would like, and I'd actually choose Mega Man as one of them.
A Mega Man. Okay.
Because here's the thing
I never
that they're
thought of that.
because they're not adverse to using ranged attackers. So like they've had guns, crossbows, bows. They've even had people using spells in their games before. So having
Okay.
Mega Man in there, and here's the thing: if you did it correctly, you could actually have Mega Man be able to use every other moveset in the game because of his mechanic from the original games.
Yeah.
So
where
you could have one
work.
character that could do every moveset in the game, but you could still play as the robot masters if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. I was thinking more like you could have like his whole roster of characters as different playable characters. You got, Mega Man, you got Mega Man X.
Well, I'm
got
saying you
Zero,
could do
you got
both
Proto
at the same
Man.
time. So you could have, of course, Mega Man being able to choose between a couple of different movesets per level, but then you could also
okay.
but then you could have like a second player, or you could choose to play as a specific robot master, and maybe the robot masters have a slight upgrade to the moveset that Mega Man can't do because they're specialized in it.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah. That'd be cool. I would.
And
I'm
there's
not getting into
like 11
Dynasty
games
Warriors
in the
game.
main game, and if you really wanted to, you could even incorporate X and all the other Mega Mans as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. It would be like just the whole Mega Man franchise with both.
If you did that, then
X.
you'd have easily like 300 characters.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
But-
included all the Robot Masters and all the Mavericks.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people just play a Zero,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he actually naturally has a sword. So
Exactly. So yeah, he definitely fits in.
Yeah.
But yeah, now you're talking about it more, I could definitely see it. And I would consider playing that game if that existed.
Yeah. The second series I would choose is probably Soul Calibur.
Okay.
Because I mean, of course, it's already got the weapons and characters. I mean, it is sadly in the same it is the same time period as the Warring States period, so you couldn't do too much in Japan without stepping on the same toes as Samurai Warriors. Because
Gotcha.
I know Mitsurugi actually fought at Sekigahara, so I know that for a fact. But of course, you could bring in every character from the franchise and just have them just slashing enemies. I know there was a game on the Wii that was a hack and slash more or less, but it was more like a poor man's Devil May Cry than a Warriors game. So, but the fact that you could actually do the storyline with the Soul Calibur and Soul Edge in a Warriors franchise would still be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That definitely makes sense.
And then the final, this is the one I would probably choose as my number one, would be Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Because you have so many games in the series and so many spin-offs, you could just bring in tons of characters. Even if you just brought in 5 characters from each of the main line games, that's still 16 games times 5. And how often would you ever be able to play as some of those villains? It actually makes more sense to me than Dissidia did, because the way Warriors games that works is that in those collaboration games, there's a lot of opportunity for fan service between characters interacting. Like you could actually have Tifa and Zell from Final Fantasy 7 and 8 interacting because they're both martial artists in a cutscene when they first meet each other. Could that would be pretty fun?
I know one of those characters.
Yeah, but then you could also, if they really wanted to, they could even bring the Kingdom Hearts original characters in if they have the control for that.
Okay, yeah.
And then if they did that, they could even have Cloud and Sephiroth don their Kingdom Hearts 1 costumes, which they haven't done since the first Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Outside of some mobile games. Nice. But you could definitely do a lot with it, just like what they did with the Legend of Zelda, the first Legend of Zelda Warriors game.
Yeah, with the
it would just be a bunch of fan service
Hyrule
and just
Warriors,
enjoyable.
That's right.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors.
Was there 2 of those games?
Yes, there was one based on just the Breath of the Wild timeline, and then there's one that was just a celebration of the entire series.
Okay, I swear that there were 2 Hyrule Warriors games.
Yeah.
So okay.
The first one, like I said, is more. It has its own Link, Zelda, and Impa, but like the rest of the cast is from the other games.
Gotcha.
And I think it had like 3 of its own villains, if I remember correctly. Although sadly, I would have actually preferred 2 of those villains being Onyx and Varen from the Oracle games.
Oh, yeah, probably the most underrated Zelda games.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and
it's kind of sad that they created original characters instead of bringing them back.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So, all right. Well, that was a great topic. So thank you for that suggestion, dude. So, all right, we will move on to our next topic. And I didn't go all out like last year's party chat for Halloween was all Halloween themed. But I got to have at least one question here that's Halloween themed since it's 2 days from now. So curious from each of you guys if you have maybe not something that you regularly play, but just what's your favorite game to play around Halloween or style or something. So yeah, to have some spooky, not that your answer has to be spooky, but I was like, I gotta have something in here that's spooky-ish Halloween themed. So we did talk both
because it could be Costume Quest, which isn't really that spooky.
Exactly. That's a perfect answer because it's Halloween themed because your kid's going around, getting candy, but it's very cutesy. It's not spooky. Spooky, but not scary. So, I wrote down 2 and both of mine were, repurposing from anyone who didn't catch our top 5 3 weeks ago. We ranked our top 5 favorite spooky games. So I just pulled from that because I don't have anything that I don't really have anything where I play regularly at around a certain time of year. But if there was a game, I was like, I'm going to play something that really fits the mood of Halloween. The 2 on my list is Arkham Knight because that actually takes place over the course of Halloween, kind of like Arkham Origins takes place over Christmas. Arkham Knight is over Halloween. And I've been meaning to play that one again because it's a really good game, and I haven't played it in a really long time, and I want to go back and play it again. So, and then my favorite of the franchise is Doom Eternal, but it could just be the entire Doom franchise. Although probably the one that makes the most sense is Doom 3, since that one is actually a spooky game.
Might as well go
What?
into mine because that's actually mine.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that. So
Yes.
Doom
Yes.
3.
And by the way, it's the
have,
original Xbox version that I would prefer to play.
I have that version as well, but I bought it because back in college, my buddy of mine's like, "Hey, let's both get Doom 3 and we'll play through it over Xbox Live on co-op." And it did have co-op, but it was so broken it didn't work. We couldn't even play like 10 minutes, so I never.
It's
actually
probably
played
better if
through
you
it.
just played in on local area network.
Yeah. So I've yet to play through the entirety. I played a few hours of it, and yeah, not that I have, like I often say, I didn't even play the original Dooms until after Doom 2016, so I don't have like the nostalgia for it. But I have come to really like the Doom franchise, but Doom 2016, Doom Eternal are my favorites, and I don't do spooky that much, so I'm not really looking forward to Doom 3. But what I've played so far hasn't been too bad. But I know a lot of people really love Doom 3.
It's more like a fun house. It's not really like spooky. It's spooky in a way that things jump out at you.
So,
But I have actually played Doom 3. Of course, this was a more modern release, but I have played the entirety of Doom 3 in the dark, in a basement with no street lights on my street, and surround sound. So I have enjoyed the game to its fullest.
cranking up the spooky to max.
Yes.
The release of Doom 3, roughly in the neighborhood of what, 2005? That was an incredible release. And you needed a powerful computer to play it, by the way. And
Or an Xbox.
It was on original Xbox, obviously.
It was on original Xbox, but you didn't get the
They
same
did have to
experience.
do some. They'd have to do some things, but most of the things they had to do was like split some of the levels up.
Yeah, it's a really good looking game for original Xbox. August 2004.
They did a good job porting it to Xbox.
Yeah. So yeah, you were pretty close on there, Ryan. August 2004.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't play it on Xbox. I played it on PC because
on Xbox the copyright is 2004 to 2005.
Right, Neo?
Sorry, what was that?
I said I didn't play it on Xbox. I played it on PC. PC Master Race, right, Neo?
Oh.
The joke, dude. You're like, whoa. Come on, man.
I'm not.
Here's the thing, though.
Master Race.
Can you still play your PC disc when it comes to Doom 3?
Yeah, that's a good point. You can put that in a Xbox, a 360, or an Xbox One, or a Series X. You can play it on all of them.
I actually
not this one. You can do that because the BFG edition came out, and because of that.
That's right. That's.
But you can play this one on the original and the 360. So
it's backwards compatible on the 360, but not the Xbox One. There's not a lot of games that's the case.
No, there's actually quite a few because there's only like 20 Xbox original games that are like backwards compatible on this.
Right, but pretty much all the ones that are backwards compatible on the 360, you can also play on an Xbox One. So the ones that are backwards compatible on a 360 but not Xbox One, there's
like 200 games that are playable from Xbox original on the 360.
Yeah,
there's like,
and most of those are
not able to be played on Xbox One.
They're not.
No, it's like Xbox One only has like 25 games that are backwards compatible.
I thought there was way more than that.
It was not that many. And it's because they wanted to. It's because the reason why is because of the licensing issues. They wanted to sell them on the modern store.
Yeah, I know that. Like a lot of the 360 games, they didn't. Even though there's an Xbox One version, they didn't make them backwards compatible.
Yeah, there were some of those that were like that,
like Skyrim.
Yeah, there were some that were like that, but then there's other just because of licensing issues that nobody knew who owned the copyright to them.
What was that?
Also,
Ryan?
shout out to the fact that the 360 and the PlayStation 2 are probably the best gaming consoles of all time. Like seriously,
I think the GameCube is better than both of them.
You're so wrong, and it's not even funny.
GameCube is the only one you could beat a person to death with, so checkmate.
Sorry. No, I love the GameCube, but if we're going Nintendo, I got to go with the 64. It revolutionized.
Nah, the GameCube just improved everything that the N64 did.
I gotta go with the GameCube as well.
Carl.
360 is my favorite, but because almost everything on 360 is also playable on a Series X, with the exception of I think there's only one game I own from back then that's not playable on it. if I had,
I own quite a few that aren't backwards compatible, but then again, I have a very large. library
you
of
have a
360
huge
games.
collection. So
I just like that generation the most. That's really
yes,
what it is.
exactly. The 360 is my favorite generation, but if I had to pick actual hardware to play it on, it would be the Series X because almost everything that was on 360 that I love is playable on a Series X.
My preferred generation is actually the GameCube, the 6th generation, which is the GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation
Yeah.
2.
That's my favorite one too. I love it a
I
lot.
can get on board with that. Yeah, I'm gonna get on board with that.
Because it felt like the 6th generation fixed the 3D. It fixed fixed the problems with 3D that the 5th generation started, like just like the Super
Yep.
Nintendo era fixed the 2D from the 8-bit.
Rest in peace, Dreamcast.
Oh,
That makes a lot of sense.
I need to
And
finally actually go in and actually complete a Dreamcast game because I know they're supported on retro achievements. I just haven't actually taken the time to go in and one.
oh,
yo, the Sega Saturn. Holy, like talk about a.
what generation does that?
By the way, it's the
I think
PS1.
that's
PS1 and 64.
Okay.
By the way, I'm gonna be doing a Joker later with a Saturn game.
Okay. Well, you said Saturn. I was thinking of the 32X. So I was like, what generation would that be considered? Because that's
That's
the
still
Tower of
technically
Power,
the
right?
16-bit.
yeah.
you
It was
still
a
needed a
weird in
Genesis.
between. Yep.
No, okay. Because I was gonna say, I think it was you had to have a Genesis, so I would say it was Genesis era.
It was an add-on to the Genesis, yeah, so
Yeah.
it required
Yeah.
it.
I like
It
my
would have been
Saturn.
it would
It's
have
just too
been it would
expensive
have been
to
good
collect
if
for.
they had actually let it cook a little bit. I think the 32X could have been.
They
Could've been
moved
good.
on to the Saturn too soon.
Well, it's because the American branch was the one that did the 32X because they're like nobody was once going to want to upgrade from their old hardware because they still have the old hardware. That's the way that the American branch was acting, and then the Japanese were like, "Yeah, we did this already from the Master System to the Genesis. They're going to upgrade, so we're going to make the Saturn."
Listen, the downfall of Sega from a console maker to third party is one rife with many comical errors of their own self-doing.
Have you all actually seen that documentary about the Nintendo versus I'm sorry, Sega?
No, but I was just gonna say, is there a documentary about the fall of
Yeah.
Sega from being a hardware manufacturer to just
Yeah,
software?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure there's
there
plenty
is.
of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I'll say,
there
I'd like to watch that.
there was a big one a couple of years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago. Yeah, it was a huge one that everybody watched, and it showcased how Sega and Nintendo went head to head and just clashed and clashed and clashed. And Sega was more outlandish; they were more in your face. But Nintendo ultimately won the. I mean, it's Nintendo. It's the biggest gaming company in history. So
Yeah. So
It's the only pure gaming company also when it comes to console manufacturers too.
it's true. It's true.
The other two can rely on other things.
Oh yeah. Sony's not.
I'll
just
try to find that
gaming.
documentary and put it in the private chat for everybody because it's really it's fun. It's
So it's on YouTube.
probably now because it's
Okay.
been out for about 3-4 years.
If it is, I'll put it in the stream description. So if anyone watching this after the fact wants to go watch it, I'll put the link in the stream description. So that sounds interesting. I'd love to watch that.
There's, like I said, there's a lot of comical errors there too. There was like the pushing up of the release date of the Sega Saturn, not having software ready to go. The PlayStation 1 basically came out and killed it too, which didn't help.
It would literally undercut them by $100.
Yeah, and on top of that too, they got all the better deals. It was harder to program for the Sega Saturn.
The thing is, the Saturn was a 2D monster.
Well, on top of that too, it had it was just harder to program for. They had a lot of good games on there, but it wasn't many. It wasn't able to keep up.
A game I will
way
talk
more
about. I will be
expensive.
talking about later for the 1997. It was released on both PlayStation and Saturn.
Yeah, a lot of fighting games were like that.
No, this wasn't even a fighting game.
Oh, what was that? Resident Evil?
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
We'll get to
It
it.
is a 2D game. 97.
We'll get to it at the end. So,
But like I said, there was also a lot of power struggle between Europe and America and Japan. It was like all three regions were fighting with each other. It was absolutely insane.
And what's funny is the only place that Sega actually could keep was Brazil, and that's because it was the Master System still. The 8-bit powerhouse was still chugging.
So the film is called Console Wars. It's a 2020 film documentary, and it is
I have that, I think.
it is available on Paramount Plus, Amazon, and I could probably find Tortuga, which I do from time to time. So
I'm pretty sure I have that.
I've watched it. It's very, very good. It's very good.
I do have it. Console Wars. Yeah. I need to watch it now. Okay. Cool.
Well, fucking watch it, dude. Sorry,
I'm
the
going
language.
to.
I don't know why you're telling me.
I'll
Um,
try to find it on the on the up and up for everybody to experience.
So, well, before we get on to your guys' answer to this one, when Dude was talking about GameCube, that just jogged my memory that at the beginning when we were talking about what we've been playing, I completely skipped myself. So, what I've been playing lately is
Don't say your balls.
No, I was not going to say that.
Sorry.
It jogged my memory because I've been playing GameCube because this retro achievement launch event for the GameCube, because it came out in,
It's almost over. About halfway into the next month, it's gonna be over.
yeah, we only got about 2 weeks left, but I've been playing GameCube, and the achievements just dropped a few days ago, so I jumped on it immediately, and I've been playing Metroid Prime 2. So I haven't played it in so long.
I will be playing that. I will start playing that on stream on Thursday.
Okay, nice. So yeah, I was playing it right before we went live. I just beat the Spider Guardian. So, but yeah, Metroid Prime 2, I freaking love this game. Just as much, if not more, than the first one. It's a great game. And so that's what I've been playing lately. So, all right. So, Carl, is there anything that you like to play around Halloween that is Halloween-esque?
No, not really.
No.
Halloween is more of a movie month for me than a video game month.
Okay.
If anything, if anyone's looking for a good recommendation, I would say check out a game called Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
Okay. Yeah, that one didn't blow up or anything. It was kind of underwhelming, but and I think part of that had to do with either the devs themselves or they were tied to Sweet Baby Inc. But from a lot of people that I heard played it, said it was actually pretty good, despite the
It
link
just got
to-
no marketing. That's really what it was. It was a game that everyone they showed once and it had an interesting concept and just vapor. Everyone kind of forgot about it. The only reason I was told about it is one of my guests that I've had on the show, Mr. Wilmy Hood. He was playing it and he was really hyping it up and recommending it. And a couple of my other friends who were playing it, they were like, "Yeah, it's made by the people who made Vampire." And I was like, "Oh, so maybe that's also why a lot of people did not really enjoy Vampire, but the people who did really enjoyed it." So I checked it out. It's pretty good. It's got a really good story. It's very creepy. Very interesting choice-based system about the ghosts in this world, which is kind of the big theme of it, is how ghosts affect living people and how your choices affect the ghosts and the living people. It's pretty good. The combat obviously is nothing to write home about. It's definitely got modern day AAA graphics, but more of AA combat. So definitely consider checking it out. Like I said, Focus Interactive, Focus Home Interactive, whatever you call them now. They've definitely found a way to publish some very interesting and unique games, and this is definitely one of them.
Nice. Okay. And it takes place during the Salem witch trials?
1600s. So a little bit before and not even in Salem.
Okay. I was getting mixed up with something else then.
Just real quick, there's a Tortuga link to YouTube for said documentary. So it was done by Legendary Pictures, and yeah, it's good. It's good. So
and you found it on YouTube, so I will drop that in the link. It is the text is Spanish, but the audio is English. So I will put that in the stream description afterwards. So
I'm gonna watch it tonight. That's how much I want to watch it again. It's so good. It's so good.
Nice.
Sorry.
So, all right. And Ryan, do you have anything that you like to play around Halloween?
Yeah. It's always okay, and it's a little gay. I started my YouTube journey wanting to play horror games on Friday night, and I called it Fright Day Night, and I'm trying to bring it back. And
Oh, you mentioned that. That's right.
yeah, and the game I started with was Silent Hill 2, not the remake, because I've seen the remake. I'm not really. I feel some of it. I'm gonna say that I feel some of it. But the original Silent Hill from the PlayStation 2 is an incredible horror game that is just unmatched by all others.
Just as a heads up, this Friday night is not a good night because it's the first day of November for Fright Night.
No, I know, but it was it was something that I took, Halloween wise, and I turned it into just this thing where every Friday night I would stream a horror game, and I started with Silent Hill 2, the original one, and so it's Halloween's about ready to come and go, but at the same time, if it's Friday night, people like to go get scared and stuff like that. So I need to figure out an audio issue that I'm having because I tried it and I'm getting an echo, but that's because StreamYard sucks. So
But I'm just doing a solo stream. I just use OBS.
yeah. The thing is, though, is that I try to stream to multiple platforms, and OBS Studios only streams to one unless you have this
Plug-in.
this add-on this
plugin.
add-on. It's a plugin, yeah, and I couldn't get it to work, but that was probably like 7 months ago.
And
I
are you
haven't-
on Windows?
Yes.
Should be easier for you. I did it on Linux.
Okay.
Yeah,
I also
I can help
It
you
should
out
be
with
more
that, 'cause
drag and it should be drag and drop on Windows.
It was pretty simple. I remember.
I also have to the of course Horny Elf, who was in the chat. He does stuff where kind of like G&G does. They show themselves on StreamYards, but they overlay underneath with
In
OBS.
OBS.
Yeah, and I haven't figured out how to do that, but I
I
haven't
want
had
to
it.
know
It's
how
virtual.
they do that.
It's called a
too.
virtual camera.
I want to know how they do that.
I think
That's what
how
it is?
Yeah, virtual camera. I think that's how
Okay.
Carl's doing what he's doing.
Okay. Carl, would you like to comment?
If you need help with this, I can say reach out to my buddy Fernando. He'll help you.
So yeah, I know.
I've done it once or twice to myself because I did it instead of using my camera, I was showing my Xbox gameplay in a panel stream like this through Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's all done through OBS.
Yeah, I still did it in OBS, but I just made it so that the Discord pulled the virtual camera from Discord or from OBS.
Well,
Yeah,
Alf
that's not
definitely
hard to
knows
do.
how to do it. So, because Alf talked to Jed, the Hollywood scholar, who we're friends with, and he leaked the secret. But the way Jed worded it, like I don't know, like 2 years ago, I was like, or like a year and a half ago, I'm like, what? I'm fucking retarded. So sorry, Neo, for the language, but I really am. I'm stupid.
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm kind of retarded.
I mean, I PC game on hard mode because I'm a Linux user.
So,
Well, you're definitely a more hardcore gamer than I will ever be. Like I will never, ever be an achievement chaser, and Neo makes me look like a loser on that front.
Well, to be honest though, he has way more points than I do when it comes to raw points. But I did get him on another website that actually creates its own points based on how many people have gotten achievements, and I'm actually beating him on that site but it also incorporates all of our profiles, not just the Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only have I only have 250,000 on Xbox, but he has like 700,000, right?
Yeah, I'm at 720 something.
Yeah, he's almost 3 times as much as I have, but since I go for those full completions, it's always I always end up getting the way harder ones. And on websites like that one I was telling you about, called Metagamer Score, it points the ones that nobody really gets way higher than the ones that everyone gets.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see here. Perfect. So, all right. On to our next topic for tonight. I've been saving this one for a little while, and I thought, I know Carl's a big fan of Pokemon, and Dude's a big fan of Pokemon. Obviously, we can see Carl's a Doug Trio.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Ryan, I have no idea if you know anything about Pokemon. I know very cursory, but since we had two guys who were big on Pokemon, I thought this would be a fun topic for
I know cursory.
Okay. So, anyways, I've been hanging on to this one for a while until we got a couple of Pokemon people on the panel, and I wanted to talk about what Pokemon do you most closely identify with. I thought that was a funny topic. So,
can I go first because mine's gonna be awful?
Okay, go for it.
Mine's just gonna be Pikachu.
Okay.
Also, first off, I thought Pikachu was a girl. Because
it could be both.
Yeah.
It can be. Well, I thought Ash's Pikachu was actually a girl.
I'm pretty sure his is actually a boy.
That's
it's
what I
voiced by a
heard.
girl, though.
But yeah, because it's like Pika Pika Pika.
Actually,
Like,
I think Ash is voiced by a girl too, isn't he?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought so.
A lot of voice acting does that. Timmy Turner is also voiced by a girl.
And Naruto.
I'll just say this: a little thing that's probably the size of I don't know, a small cat, and I do mean small. It just literally gets pissed off, and it goes Pikachu, and it's like it explodes.
It's actually a mouse.
That's a large mouse.
It's
like,
they're Pokemon.
well, I mean, come on.
You're
now.
questioning the size when it shoots lightning. Okay.
Yeah. The little cute thing that Ash has, who seems to be the most, I don't know, the one of the strongest ones of the, it just explodes with lightning and it destroys everything.
The anime is inconsistent, and you should not be using that.
I'll
The
use
fact
whatever
that-
I want.
the
sir.
fact
This is
that-
my opinion.
The fact that he was able to beat a Rhydon, which is a ground type, with an electric move, makes absolutely no sense because in the games, ground nullifies electric attacks.
We don't need to get this autistic.
I was about to say, Carl, help! I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think Ryan knows a whole lot about Pokemon. Probably.
Well, now I need to watch it apparently because it's like, well,
So-
no, Pokemon is huge. By the way,
it's one of the biggest franchises in history.
It is the
I
biggest
agree.
franchise.
I agree. Y'all know Devil, right? Devil Made Me Do It.
Mhm.
And we had an anime kind of like get ranked, and I put Pokemon in S tier because like everybody knows Pokemon. Like there are people's grandmothers that know Pokemon,
Yeah.
and I got vetoed. They're like, well, Pokemon's very good. It's A tier, but it's not S tier. And I'm like going, dude, I could walk up to anybody on the street in any city in the world and be like going, Pikachu. And they go, oh, Pokemon.
He's in the Macy's Day Parade.
Yes. And I got vetoed. They moved Pokemon from S tier to A tier. And I argued it to the high heavens. And I'm
Here's the
not even
thing,
a
though. What
Pokemon
was
fan.
the tiering about? Was it franchise?
It was basically how good it is, basically
It's a number of different things that they
number
rank it on.
overall.
Yeah.
Like
I think the reason why Pokemon gamers would probably put in A tier is because recently they've been kind of dropping the ball when it comes to the games.
it was the
outside-
television show.
Outside of
the
the,
games.
it was a TV show.
It was the
TV show's been pretty good, actually. So I would have been there.
I mean,
with
they even allowed Ash to actually have a good send off.
because it had to do with we ranked Digimon, we ranked I think Cowboy Bebop was that, but it was anime stories and anime shows, and yeah, I put Pokemon in, and anyway, I'm shut up. That's all I know.
I probably would
honest,
put it in S2 just because everyone knows Pokemon.
I mean, to be honest, personally, I'd probably put it in C, but that's because I just don't think it's. I'm not the biggest fan of the anime.
And just the whole franchise as a whole, rather than just like the anime or just the game.
If it was just the anime, it'd be a C for me.
Okay.
I would put it S. It's very, very popular. Even like the new animes, they still make
Hey, I'm thinking
get
about
trending on
personal
Twitter.
opinion. I don't care about what other people think when I'm doing a tiering like that.
I think Dude
Fair
needs to be on Get Ranked for anime. They're doing a horror thing tonight, by the way, but yeah, no, it's
Oh, fun.
I've watched a decent amount of anime, but not like artistically amount.
No,
I haven't either. Yeah, my favorite anime is probably going to be Cowboy Bebop.
Mine is Yu Yu
Very-
Hakusho.
I was very disappointed about Netflix. Ugh.
So,
Moving on.
Okay, so I think I have a little bit more knowledge on Pokemon than Ryan, but not like a lot. Like I know I wouldn't be able to if you put the first 150 in front of me, I'd be able to name most of them. But pretty much anything after
Which one's the
Gen
ball?
1, either Electorb or Voltorb.
No, it's Jigglypuff.
Oh, that's not a. Yeah, I know
This-
Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's where I was going with that is everything past Gen 1. I only know. If
I
it was
don't
in Smash
know.
Brothers.
I could see Neo being Jigglypuff. He puffs up when he's playing Dark Souls.
Isn't Jigglypuff
doesn't-
the one that's pink and has like little like small appendages?
Yeah.
Yes, the one that's actually
Yeah.
in Smash Brothers.
He gets mad when I fall asleep.
Shit.
Even though its
No.
singing is supposed to put people to sleep.
Yeah. And that's one of its powers in Smash Bros. Is putting people to sleep. But no, I was just saying that anything past Gen 1 that I know is because it was in Pokemon, or sorry, it was in Smash Brothers. So I started looking through Gen 2, and I was like, I
So
don't
whenever all the
recognize
leaks
almost
came
any
out,
of
you didn't
these.
know anything about. You didn't know what Typhlosion looked like.
I had seen it before, but I didn't know like anything about it. I still don't know why I keep hearing about Typhlosion a lot lately. Apparently, I have no
Ooh, he
idea. I've
didn't
just been
He
hearing.
didn't read the leaks.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've heard people mention Typhlosion a lot, and until I was looking through Gen 2 Pokemon today, I didn't even know what Typhlosion was. I was like, oh, that's Typhlosion. I knew Cyndaquil because Cyndaquil is one of the Pokeballs in Smash Bros. But I didn't even know Typhlosion was an evolution of Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So
And it currently has a very I think it has a region form where it's also part ghost.
Hisuian.
Still didn't do
Oh.
anything for it competitively.
I actually did
Alrighty.
some in doubles.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But
Neo,
anyways,
your favorite was
Competitive is whenever you
Squirtle,
play
wasn't
when
it?
it is the tournaments between players.
yeah. What was that, Ryan?
Your favorite was Squirtle, wasn't it?
No, so I've never even played any. The only actual Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Pinball. I've never even played like the actual Pokemon games because,
That's
like
weird.
I always say,
Which one?
I don't like
Oh, the
JRPG
original one.
turn-based combat. So I was
No, I'm
never
talking about
into Pokemon.
which pinball. There's two.
The original one on Game Boy Color. Yeah, Game
Gotcha.
Boy Color.
So
If
you
you
didn't
didn't
play
know
the
what was
advanced-
past Gen 2, I would just assume.
Yeah.
I did catch almost everything on Pokemon Pinball. But anyways, all that to say is I know Gen 1 decently well. So I stuck to Gen 1. I did look through Gen 2 and I recognized a small fraction of the Pokemon. But anyways, so I was looking
Gen 2
through.
was the least amount that they added into a generation, I think.
I did notice that at the end of Gen 2 is only 251, so they only added 100 on top of the original one.
And a decent amount of them were actually evolutionary lines to the original 100.
Oh, yeah, I
150.
noticed like they added Pichu, which was a pre-evolution to Pichu.
Yeah, they added babies because they thought that they would actually take off, but everyone hated them.
Well, they also cut out some Pokemon from Gen 1 and brought them over to Gen 2.
Well, that's because of time constraints.
That and they didn't want to program them properly.
So, anyways, I was looking through it, and I was looking through them numerically, and the first one that I thought of was Diglett. But as I was looking through it, and I don't know if that's actually Carl's answer. We'll get here in a moment. But that's not the one that I settled on. I kept going through the list. I had to make sure I had to look through all 151 first. And the one that I settled on was, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but is it Arcanine?
Arcanine, yeah.
Arcanine, the evolution of
Arcanine.
Growlithe. Because
Hey, at least he's not like Officer Jenny in the anime where she calls it Growlithe and Arcanine.
Growlithe.
Growlithe is it is Growlithe, right?
It's Growlithe.
Oh, it's Growlithe.
What's Ith?
Wait.
Growlithe.
That's what I said. Growlithe.
No,
Is
it's
it
Growlithe.
Growlithe. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were messing with me or not. Okay, Growlithe.
I wasn't sure if you were messing with me.
No, like I said, I don't know much about Pokemon. You're gonna have to correct me on anything.
I can't
Pokemon.
trust these people anymore. You West Coasters say things weird.
Okay,
Whoa,
Growlithe.
whoa, whoa! What do you mean, you fucking people?
You heard me.
You're in Colorado. You're not in West Coast.
That's the western side of the United States, dude.
It's mountain time, not the same.
Yeah, you're not even in the right time zone.
Oh, it's one time zone.
Yeah. For
Sometimes
me, it's
we have
two.
one person from every time zone on this stream.
Oh,
tonight.
we do.
It's kind of weird. We're just
I didn't
missing
think about
Hawaiian
that.
and Alaskan.
Yeah.
Also,
one page
isn't
of the
there
proper
one-
time zones?
Isn't there one further to the right of the
Aleutian?
East Coast on Canada?
There is for
It's-
Canada, yeah.
It's like
Pretty sure.
it's Alaskan, Hawaiian, and Aleutian. Those are the like three major other time zones out there.
Okay.
It's
But
Canada
Fiji,
anyway,
Virgin
sucks.
Islands.
why Canada? Why do we let you be a country?
It's not even a real country anyway.
So anyways, back to the topic. I settled on Arcanine. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Perhaps.
because
Maybe.
I like Growlithe. He's basically the puppy dog of Pokemon, but I was like, I don't
There's
think that's
way
quite
too many
fitting.
dogs in Pokemon.
Well, probably now, but I'm just talking about Gen 1. And it's fire type. I like the summer. It's my favorite season. I like the heat. And I feel like he seems like a big dog, and big dogs are typically like they love everyone, and I think I get along with pretty much everyone, and I'm pretty easy to talk to. So I felt like that was appropriate for me. So I may have my conception of that Pokemon completely wrong, but that's kind of the impression I got of the Pokemon. He's a big, lovable dog, and I kind of think of myself as that. So that's why I went with Arcanine. So
your favorite movie is The Big Shaggy Dog, I'm guessing?
is that a movie?
Yes.
I've not heard of that one.
Neil's like, Jesus. Oh, I feel like a big shaggy dog. Do you have a...
I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
Neither do
Carl,
I.
what about you? Is yours Diglett or Dugtrio? Or
So,
is that
like-
a red herring to throw us
What'd
off?
you say?
What? Is a
What-
Diglett or
what-
Dugtrio? That's the Pokemon he's got as his avatar.
I'm screwing with you, dude.
Oh, okay.
Diglett. Come on now. How do you not walk into these traps all the
I have-
time?
He's
You
a
just-
sweet little boy. That's why.
I'm
He's
still-
innocent.
He's like
Diglett, it's a
Pitfall.
Pokemon.
And...
Listen, we've had to explain so many different slurs to Neo over our time that we've learned each other.
Diglett is a slur?
No.
I know. If you add an N, it is.
If you change some letters around, yes.
Diglett. Digleton. If you add an N.
So
All right,
before
somebody else
awkward
go.
turtle, let's go. Let's
Are
get-
If
So-
you put an N at the beginning,
We're not gonna do this. Stop.
it'll be a-
Stop.
Bail out. Bail out.
Bail out. We're still on YouTube.
Abort.
it's still not the same word.
Bail out.
Oh, it's a word.
What was I
it
gonna
is.
say?
I've never heard of it before.
Forking around says hello there.
Hey, what's up,
Hello there.
Forkin? Good to see you, buddy. Hope
Sorry,
you're doing
Forking
well
around.
tonight. So,
We're-
Carl,
we're-
what is your Pokemon?
So the question was, which one do I relate more, or was it like my favorite one? Like I wanted to clarify.
It was more of like, what Pokemon do you feel like represents you the best? But if you have a favorite, I would like to hear that as well.
So I would say if I had to say which one I am that I would most relate to, it would probably be Jinx.
You're
Wait, you
messing with me
cross-dress?
now.
No, it's because everyone wants to forget I exist.
Oh,
And I
Okay.
might have done blackface at one point.
I was
I
gonna
had to
say
change
that's
my
the
design.
blackface Pokemon, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. She was based off of like a popular trend in Japan at the time, and
Where
they
women
had
would
to,
get really deep tans and
Yes.
dye their hair blonde.
yeah. And then when they brought it over to America, obviously blackface and giant red lips still don't exactly play well in the Western society.
It's amazing how long Mr. Popo got away with it.
Yes, I
I'm
think it's because
sorry.
he could play himself off as Indian. That's why.
Somebody has to read Forking around.
We're
It's not
continuing
Neil
on.
because he's so timid. I didn't know this was a top 5 favorite slur video. I'm kidding.
I could make a good list for that one too.
I
Yes.
can guarantee you that will not be a topic for our top 5.
Won't be on this channel, but maybe on mine. We'll do that. How's that?
If you steal
I'm
my idea,
game.
do
Let's
top
go.
How about
five
top
and
5
other-
jokes in a video game?
Went scared my dogs. No, in all seriousness, if I had to say like the Pokemon that best represents me, I don't really know that like one that would be full of chronic depression and anxiety. So I couldn't really name one. There's probably a few out there that I'm thinking of. Maybe Psyduck. I always got a headache. That's just really about it. I'm just going to go with that one because I always get headaches. So I'm a Psyduck, and
But then you know
Okay.
exactly how to give everyone else headaches.
everyone loves me for no reason. I can't understand why. And if you hate me, you really hate me. So it makes sense. I am a Psyduck.
All right, that fits.
And then my
yeah,
favorite
what about
Pokemon
your
is
completely
favorite?
forgotten.
yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Trico. That's really what it is.
Okay. Was that the starter? Was that
Yes.
the grass starter for
That was the grass
Gen
starter of Gen 3.
3?
Gen 3
Okay.
starter, baby.
I was like, I think
And its
that's a
Mega
grass
Evolution,
starter.
its final form Mega Evolution got Dragon type.
Yes, it's really cool. I always liked him because in the anime he was like always trying to be cooler than everyone else. He had like a little twig in his mouth, and he'd always be talking that mad smack. I just liked him, and also voiced by the same.
Does Trico can talk? Like
No, he would do Pokemon smack talking. You know what I mean? The mannerisms and stuff like that.
okay.
And he was also voiced by Dan Green, who also did the voice of Yugi for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So there you go. Fun fact.
I guess Trico is always ready to duel.
It was.
Oh, I just heard someone talking. I think it was on a stream I was listening to yesterday, where they had a friend who stutters, and so they asked him to say it's time to duel, but instead of stuttering on duel, he stuttered on time, so it's time to duel, and it was just really funny.
I think it was side scrollers that someone did a super chat for.
That could be it. But it's like, oh, that's funny. It's like trying to get someone to stutter on something that actually needs a stutter, and they stutter on the wrong word. So, all right. And dude, what about you? Do you have a Pokemon that you feel best?
This one actually took me the longest to think about, but I think the one that closest for me is Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet. I know that one
Because I don't
it's
really
in
take
Smash
things
Bros.
too serious. I try not to take things too seriously, and I kind of just roll with the punches.
Okay.
And then I can throw the jokes right back at you.
Nice.
That's kind of the whole shtick for Wobbuffet.
Okay.
Wobbuffet literally is the punching bag Pokemon, and its entire moveset is countering.
Oh, okay. That's probably because all I know about Wobbuffet is from in Smash Brothers. He just bounces back and forth, so that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
It's a debate. What is the real Pokemon? Is it his tail or is it his body? The world will never know.
I think it's the tail.
Actually, that brings up something that I was thinking about while I was looking through the Pokemon today. With not Slowpoke, but Slowbro, he's got a shell on his tail. Is that its own Pokemon, or what's the deal with that?
It was supposed to be. It's supposed to be a shelter that attached itself to the Slowpoke.
Yeah. It is canonical in Pokemon that Slowpoke is the only Pokemon that can.
Yeah, if you
de-evolve.
play the original Pokemon Snap, you actually evolve a Slowpoke by actually having it fish a shelter out of the river.
It's a weird thing.
And did you
like
say
when-
it's the one that can devolve?
Yeah,
Oh, if you
It actually
if you
can.
remove it.
it can canonically devolve. That's
Huh.
that's in the Pokemon lore.
Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, that was a fun topic and went into some interesting directions I was not anticipating. So for next,
Oh, also, I
up-
think my favorite Pokemon is Blaziken.
oh, okay, Blaziken
Fire Chicken.
is. Okay, I think I might have seen. Is that a fire starter for one of the
Yes,
generations?
it was the first
Yes.
firefighting, and because of its hidden ability, it actually got so good it actually got put into Ubers for competitive play, which means it was fighting against Mewtwo and Rayquaza.
Fire Chicken runs a really good fighting sport out of the West Coast too.
Yeah, that speed boost just messes up the singles.
Street beats, baby.
And what was this thing's name again?
Blaziken.
Blaziken.
Do they have Blaziken fighting rings?
I think they would prefer Combustions.
Boo. All right.
Buzzkin. That Pokemon looks like a penis.
Moving right along. Next up, let's see here. That was okay. Next one. This was one that Carl suggested, and this is a topic that we actually had on Party Chat before. I want to say it was on episode 14, but I'm the only one on this panel who actually talked about this because Ryan wasn't there for that stream, and this was before Carl's time on Party Chat. I think it was and I think it was the episode that it was just Mark and I. So definitely a good topic to revisit. And that is, what is a IP franchise, whatever, that has been dormant for too long and needs another game entry into its franchise. So I did not go back and look at what my answer was, but I think I remember at least one of the things I mentioned back then. So I'll mention that, but I got a couple other here that I would love to see franchises make a return. But Carl, since this was your topic, what game did you have in mind, or did you have to think about it after you came up with this question?
Did I have to think about it? No. Did I think about it? Also no. I'm just gonna go wing it right now. I would say let's get another Xenogears game out there. I feel like
It's
that's
not really dormant though, is it?
it basically is dormant, man. We got like obviously Xenoblade Chronicles, and then we got the Xenosaga game, but Xenogears was like what started it off. People want some form of it to come back in some way, shape, or form. I feel like it's just about time. Let's get
What
a
was
let's
the
get
last one?
a 90, was it 2001 or early late 90s?
Technically, wasn't there only one Xenogears game, or was there?
There was.
Multiple.
It
Okay.
was just one.
Okay, so that's definitely been dormant for a long time. So, dude, when you say is it dormant, what were you referring to?
I was thinking like Xenoblade is it supposed to be in the same franchise? So
I think, from what I know, because this is where like it gets wonky. Xenosaga is supposed to take place in the same universe as Blade Chronicles. Xenogears, I've never actually heard anyone say it does, but then I've heard people say it does. So I don't know. It's kind of wonky. They're all separate games, but they have some,
Is it kind of like
connecting
Final
fabric.
Fantasy, where they all take place in the same universe, but they're not really connected, unless it's,
It's not-
like 10 and 10.
no, in Final Fantasy they're not even in the same universe.
Yeah,
Oh.
like I said, it's
I did not know that.
it's kind of just, it depends on who you talk to, and then I don't really know the real lore behind it too, because I'm not exactly the biggest fan of these games, like compared to some people. I just know that a lot of people have not played Xenogears. I know that a lot of people have not actually had the chance to go and find it, because it's super expensive if you want to buy it physically for the PS1. And a lot of people don't have a Vita or a PS3 anymore to really just still go and buy those games to play them. So that's why I just say, like, yeah, let's get it out there, revitalize it, bring it back in a modern port, like a remaster. Square's been doing a good job with those games as of late, and then let's get a sequel out there. That's what I say.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have this franchise right, but since I just got a Switch this year, and I got Smash Ultimate, and Shulk and Pyra and Mithra are in it, and I had no idea what franchise they were from. I had to go look it up. That's Xenogears, right?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade. Is that the same franchise, or are they not related at all?
That's
Just have
where
similar
the
names?
argument's coming from.
Yeah, it's not really related. They're all made by the same dev. They all start with Xeno. But they all have drastically different stories.
Okay.
So there's like kind of confirmation, kind of no confirmation.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
The reason why is very simple, because it's split up between 3 companies. That's why. It's Nintendo, Bandai Namco, and Square.
Okay. So, all right, Xenogears. It was Xenogears, right? Not one of the other.
Yes, it was
franchises?
Xenogears.
Xenogears. Okay. All right. Dude, do you have a franchise that you would love to see get revived?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it because I actually didn't really think about it before.
If
So
you
I
want some
don't
more
have the
time, I can
visual
go,
aid.
or Ryan can go. if
I
he
don't have
wants
the.
more.
I think I figured out what franchise I'd like to see come back, and that would be Custom
Okay.
Robo.
Custom. Oh, okay.
'Cause
You just played that on GameCube.
I love the GameCube game, and it's such a unique fighting game. Because I mean, it's kind of a fighting game, but it's more of a it's a 3D arena shooter type of fighting game. So it's very different, but it was an enjoy. The GameCube game was so enjoyable. I just haven't had a chance to play the DS games, but it only had console games on N64 and GameCube, and sadly the N64 versions never came out in America. So it would be nice to see another game in that series, especially with online being prevalent nowadays. It could be a lot of fun to play those games online.
Okay. Now, I may be getting mixed up with another franchise, but did it also have a cartoon?
I don't think Custom Robo ever had a cartoon.
Okay, I might be getting mixed up with something.
You might be thinking of Metabots.
That's probably it, because I remember watching a fighting robot cartoon when I was a kid. I was like, this is cool, and I forgot it even existed until not that long ago. So yeah, it was probably Metabots. Yeah, because wasn't the main one named Metabee?
Yeah, that one was Metabots, definitely.
Yeah, it was Metabots then. Okay, I was getting mixed up.
Custom Robo has been referenced in Smash Brothers though, so.
Oh, that's it,
it's
as
one of the assist trophies.
Yeah. Okay, that's why.
And also the trophies themselves.
Yeah, that's why I'd seen something about Custom Robo was the Smash Bros. Trophies. Okay.
Yeah, and recently I went through the game and got the mastery on retro achievements for it. So.
Yeah. And how many other Custom Robo games were there?
I think there was like 4 or 5 with 2 of them on the DS.
Okay. Do you know? Have you already played those, or do you know?
Like I said, I haven't played any. I haven't played the DS games, and of course, the N64 game was Japan only, so I haven't played any others.
Okay. Do you know if those any of those have achievement sets on retro achievements?
I'd need to check again.
Okay.
But of course, I'm someone who actually likes to play play only the games I can physically own.
Right.
So because of that, even if they are supported on there, I try to.
Yeah, like for the
get them myself
one, you have
first.
to import the Japanese version.
Custom Robo Arena is on retro achievements, which is on the DS.
Okay.
I think that one did get an American release, so yeah, it has ESRB on the cover.
Custom Robo got a release, yeah.
Yeah, it was just that I think it was mainly that first game that didn't come out in America on this N64.
Yeah, no, I think it was GameCube port.
So, okay.
That and Cubivore were supposed to be N64 games.
Is it just me or is Carl?
Yeah, he's really quiet. Yeah, he got really
quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think you said something about Cubicle, which is a expensive game.
Cubivore was supposed to be an N64 game, and they just made it a GameCube game.
Sounds like Animal Crossing.
Cubivore. I'm not familiar with that one.
I actually have that game. I do plan to stream it one day.
Cubivore is extremely expensive for a GameCube game.
That's a lot of GameCube games. It was. I think I got mine for $400.
Jeez.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me look at the price.
GameCube games are. If you were to select a platform to be a collector of, based on most expensive, would GameCube be up there as like one of the most expensive ones to collect for?
That and Sega Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely Saturn, especially because of those Saturn cases. Just they do not stay in one piece.
It's
trying to find.
Yeah, just to give you a heads up, Cubivore, the North American loose is $250. Complete in box, it's $500.
Jeez.
I got a steal, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's probably just gone up since you bought it. So,
what is Cubivore? Like, what kind of game? What genre?
It's, from what I know about it, it's a game where you make like these cube animals eat each other and then they evolve. That's the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Okay, right now the complete in box that's the most expensive is Sonic Heroes and Super Monkey Ball Duo Pack. For some reason.
And how much is that?
Complete in box is $4,000.
Jeez.
I think it had such a small run, and it was like a dual pack of 2 games.
Yeah.
But then a single game, it's the Pokemon box, the big box.
Which is just a stupid box. It doesn't do anything. It just holds your Pokemon. It's retarded.
By the way, the big box version is $4,000. Just the regular game by itself is $2,000.
Jeez, that's nuts. So,
wait, why is Disney Sports Basketball $1,200?
Short print.
Well, why wouldn't it be? Okay. And Ryan, what about you? Do you have any a franchise that you would love to see get revived?
Dino Crisis.
I probably should have expected that. We've been talking about Dino Crisis a lot this lately.
I mean, it's hands down. It's not hard to understand why Dino Crisis needs to be rebooted. Yeah. Imagine Dino Crisis today. Imagine that.
So they would replace the main character with a black girl because she's got red hair.
All right. Carl. Carl's right though.
Yeah,
But
the
no,
ginger
not
side
that.
is real.
Ginger side is real.
Yep,
But-
it is. Sadly,
So okay, yeah.
it sucks to be a ginger fan today.
True.
Yeah. Like I often say when we talk about Dino Crisis, never played any of them, but I do know that's often what a lot of people like.
I think
Bring
those
back
games are
Dino
supported
Crisis.
on retro achievements.
But
It's so stupid too that PlayStation locked it behind their stupid
I was-
little subscription wall.
Just gonna
Yeah.
say
Just to
that
play
it
it.
just got a. Is it just a port or is it literally the original version?
It's an emulated PS1
It's
game.
emulated one. You can
Okay.
still buy it right now and play it on your PS3 and Vita.
Yeah, I did actually check, and it's like $7 to buy it on
Yeah.
the PS3.
Yeah, you can still do that, but it's so stupid that they've locked
wanna
it
play
for
it
the
on a
PS4
modern
and PS5 one behind
And
it.
Dino
Yeah.
Crisis 1 and 2 are both supported on retro achievements.
Nice. We don't talk about Dino Crisis 3.
Which console was that for?
I have no
Original
idea.
Xbox, and we don't talk about it because it's
Oh.
bad.
It was only on
Well-
original Xbox.
Yeah.
If it was only
Okay,
on
well-
original Xbox, it won't be supported on retro achievements yet because they don't have support for Xbox yet.
Yeah. So
I mean, they just added GameCube, and I'm pretty sure they're going to add Wii next
We.
because it's literally the same emulator.
Yeah. So I was working on getting because I don't have like the Wii sensor bar or anything that I can plug into my computer, although I may need to do that. But I was
Just buy
trying to
one. It's like $30 on Amazon.
Yeah, they're not much, but I was trying to mess around with the controls to play Metroid Prime 3 with a standard controller, and I was able to do it well enough, but it's definitely not ideal. I think I played through like the first like hour or so, and I spent half that time just in the controller settings, just trying to figure out how to map things correctly. But I was able to get through some of it. But as for myself,
Whenever I finally play Wii games on stream, I'm gonna have to change how I have my whole setup because my
with the
TV is
motion,
in the way
yeah.
of the sensor bar.
Oh, okay.
The TV I use in front of me.
Yeah. So, that's almost a perfect segue for my answer, because if we didn't have the announcement of an actual, impending release of Metroid Prime 4, it would probably be Metroid Prime 4. But that doesn't count because we do know that it is coming, and like for real this time, not a logo.
And we
then
did have
7
Dread a
years
couple
later.
years ago, so it's not that dormant.
Exactly. We had we had Dread just a couple years ago. I just played it for the first time this year, so I can't say Metroid. But some of my other favorite franchises. So I'll go ahead and start off with what I'm almost positive was my answer when we talked about this on Party Chat, however long ago it was. It's a franchise with one game, and it really needed a sequel and never got it, and which is a bummer because it was a great game and very underrated platinum game, and that was Vanquish. I will always hype up Vanquish. It's a great game. It's really short.
It's not really a franchise; it's just a single game.
Yeah, but I would love to get Vanquish 2 because it ends on a cliffhanger and we never get to find out, and it was a great game. But for actual franchises that have more than one entry,
They blew up San Francisco.
yeah, they
Good.
did. Yeah, it's like not necessarily.
No,
a
the
bad
line
thing.
the line after that is that was good for all of Americans.
Was that would they actually say that in the game?
Yes, they actually
Oh
say
my
that in the game.
goodness! Because that game
Like
takes
the
place
good old
in the
days after
future.
9/11.
Another line from the
that's
same
funny.
guy was, "Thank God I'm an atheist."
What was that? The character that was voiced by Steve Blum,
The older guy, the
with
bigger guy.
Yeah, that's Steve Blum's character.
Okay, I didn't know if it was Steve Blum or the main character was Steve Blum.
No, I don't know who voiced the main character. But yeah, great game. I
I'm
definitely
gonna
recommend
look
it.
it up.
It's pretty short, so you can get through it in a quick amount of time. So if you're like me, it's
I
like
have
you've
the
got this
completion on
huge
360.
Yeah, I completed it on 360 and on Xbox One last year. I'd played it way back, but
So wait, did you do the challenges?
Yeah, I did. I did everything except for the challenges, and I left those for like a decade, and then went back and finished those off last year. But yeah, if you're like, I've got too much stuff to play, they're short games, so you can get through it pretty quickly. I definitely recommend playing through Vanquish. Anyways, for actual franchises that have more than one game, I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, that was the guy who was voiced by Steve Blum.
Okay, yeah. Who voiced Sam Gideon? That's the main character.
Actually, guy named Gideon Emery.
Yeah, don't know that name. But I did mention it earlier it was also my answer to the Dynasty Warriors, but Ninja Gaiden, we need a new entry to Ninja Gaiden. I would love to get Ninja Gaiden 4.
That guy actually did that guy did Biggs in Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay, I don't know that character, but cool.
Well, I know Carl knows who that is.
I bet. So, yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4. I would love to get Ninja Gaiden 4 because Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2 are some of my favorite games of all time.
He did a voice in Halo 5. He did the AI from that mining planet.
I don't even remember that.
Well, when we finally get to Halo 5 with the company boys, you'll finally hear him again.
Yes. But yeah, as long as we don't get Ninja Gaiden 3 again, and we get a proper Ninja Gaiden game, because Ninja Gaiden 3 was terrible, I would love to see a return to form for the Ninja Gaiden franchise and get a proper Ninja Gaiden.
Hey, we got it for DMC.
Oh yeah,
DMC was a while ago.
Yeah, but there was still. What was the gap between 4 and 5?
Well, I know DMC 4 was an early 360 game because it was released on PS3, but it was before trophies.
Okay.
So I know it was pretty early in that generation, and then 5 was a couple years into the Xbox One era.
It was like 2019.
Yeah, so it was. Okay. It was almost 10 years. It's almost a decade in between.
Yeah, I was gonna say, despite them being on only separated by one generation, early.
And we're not even counting the reboot there.
Yeah. So okay.
Capcom has a lot of dormant IPs. I'd like to see them back. Yeah. Onimusha, Beautiful Joe, Okami. Let's just cut the BS.
Mega Man Legends.
Mega Man Legends for sure.
Mega Man X.
Yeah, I would. I'd play an X9 for sure if they release one.
From the NVIDIA leaks, there was also rumors that they were going to have a remaster of the Misadventures of Tron Bonnie, and I'm still waiting for that.
They should just do it as a Mega Man Legends 1, 2, and Misadventures of Tron Bonnie.
I think they should just have Misadventures of Tron Bonnie and let the world know about the glory that is the Misadventures of Tron Bonnie.
Here's the thing, though: if they did all 3 games at the same time, more people would probably play it.
I don't care about other people. I care about myself.
Yeah, that's not me because I haven't actually played through the Mega Man Legends games, but I do know that's another popular one. Like, people really want to see Mega Man Legends 3 because I think 2 ended on a cliffhanger, and I don't think we'll ever get a 3. But my last
Japanese games and always wanting to do cliffhangers.
Yeah, for reals. And my last one is my favorite stealth franchise, Sam Fisher. We need another Splinter Cell game. They're talking about remaking the original. It's like, we don't need a remake of the original. We just need another entry into the franchise because the last.
I actually just found out this about Splinter Cell. I just found out about Splinter Cell because of some ordinary gamers. Apparently, Pandora Tomorrow is stuck on the Xbox.
You mean like it's not backwards compatible?
Well, there's no way to get it because I think it is made playable on Xbox One. But you can only do it from the disc. You can't purchase it digitally. And the only more modern version of it is the HD version on PS3, and apparently that one's the worst way to play.
Oh, interesting.
Because it stutters like crazy.
Because that was one thing that I rag on all the time whenever we talk about Splinter Cell. Because Splinter Cell, I played them all on PC up until Double Agent. I played on 360, but all the ones prior to that I played on PC. And console-wise, it was the original Splinter Cell was an Xbox console exclusive for a while. But then when they did a remastered collection of the first 3 Splinter Cells, they only brought it to PlayStation. It's like, why didn't you bring that to Xbox? I would have bought that in a heartbeat.
Well, apparently it wasn't that good of a port. It was poor port job.
Yeah, I did not know that till literally just now. So, but yeah, I would love a remastered collection of the first 3 with achievements. That'd be fantastic. But I would love to have another entry into the franchise. And if they are going to do it, they better do it quick. I obviously would love to get Michael Ironside back because they changed the voice actor in Blacklist. Blacklist was still a good game, but didn't feel right having someone else be the voice of Sam Fisher. Would love to get Michael Ironside back while he's still alive because he's not in the greatest of health. So he might not be around for that much longer. So it would be a real shame if we did another Splinter Cell and didn't have Michael Ironside. And
didn't he have throat cancer?
I think so. That does sound familiar.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that he actually had throat cancer.
That's probably why he didn't do the voice in Blacklist. So, and someone I've not seen in a while, but I've seen on Carl's channel a couple times lately, Pop Culture Mechanic. Good evening.
Hey there, Pop.
From the Great White North, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Oh, not the Great White North.
You mean the country that should not exist?
Yeah.
It's almost the communist North. Sorry.
Practical joke that went on too long.
Yeah, true.
It's called an
All right.
impractical joke.
Yeah. So what's up, Pop Culture? Good to see you, buddy. All right. I guess that will bring us into our final topic for tonight. And
Timestamp.
What's that?
Timestamp.
Timestamp? Yes, I'm getting the timestamp.
You and Ryan and Roger Athay have a lot in common with how you structure your streams.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah, I usually don't really talk about it, but yeah, you can definitely see that's what I'm doing. He actually usually comments on it. But anyways, so for, as usual, rounding off the night with our favorite games from a specific year. And tonight we are talking about 1997. I did not realize.
I'm putting this up as a joke.
Is that a relatively hated Sonic game?
Yeah.
Sonic Hard R? Yeah.
But like you can tell this is like we were saying earlier, the Saturn cases, you see how they are, and they're made of the same material as regular PS like music CD cases. So you can tell with how big it is and with it being such a flimsy material, they can break easily.
Yeah, you just look at a Saturn case and it just shatters.
Yeah, this one actually has one of the clips for the the manual broken already.
But it made it more fun. It was more fun. Come on now. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
It was more fun. The Sega Saturn was a lot more fun than the PlayStation, even though the PlayStation was better.
I think I played a Saturn one time.
That's more than most people.
It was just better. It was more exciting at the time.
Did it just work?
No.
Meanwhile, the two games
I fucking Bethesda, dude.
Meanwhile, the two games I was having a hard time
successful.
figuring out for the actual question was between these two.
Okay, so yeah.
By the way, Castlevania came out on Saturn.
Yes, it did have a Saturn.
Yeah, it did.
I knew that because Corporeal played it.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing earlier.
Resident Evil 2.
But yeah, when I was looking through 1997, I was like, I did not realize how much of a banger 1997 was. There were so many good games. So
yeah.
Dude, that was Symphony of the Night, and what was the other one you had up there?
Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7. Okay, I did not realize
the one that got
that
me
was
into
also
Final
97.
Fantasy.
God, that's a hard one to beat.
It's not that hard.
It is, because it's been like remade several times, right?
Well, there's the HD. There's the HD
ported.
remaster.
The correct term is ported.
Ported. Okay, I don't.
Then there's the
and
remake
it's only been
from
ported
a few years ago.
modern. It's only been ported modernly, anyways, like on Xbox One, Switch, and PS4. And
it's not the PS3. It got ported to PS3.
It did.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That's technically emulated.
It's still a form that you could play it in a modern setting.
Yeah. Technically, it's still on a platform. Come on, man. Like, don't like twist it.
I still pay money to play said game.
Yes, but on PS3, I could just plug this one in and it works the exact same way.
If you have back compat. If you don't,
all PS3s can play PS1 games.
Not the fat one. Only the fat ones.
No,
ones cannot.
For PS3, every PS3 can play PS1 games.
I'm going to test this theory.
Only the fat ones. You're wrong.
I will
was
test
the
it after the
original-
stream because I
It was
have
the hold on.
I have the George Foreman grill PS3.
I don't give a
Slim.
shit if you have
I don't have the George
I
Foreman.
thought you were about to say George Floyd.
Foreman.
Floyd McGill grill.
I'm not going to make a joke
I have
out
the
of
Foreman
respect for
grill
you.
PS3 Slim. I can test that and see that it can play the PS1 game.
So you have the
Do it.
PS3 Slim, and you're gonna put your.
I'll
PS1
do it after
game
the
in.
stream. I'll even take a picture and send it to you.
I don't
All
trust you. Do it live.
I don't know enough
Yeah,
either
The
way.
problem is I have to get up and all that. It's more of a.
Excuses. There you go.
Oh,
I got to put work into faking. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know either
All right.
way, so I can't comment.
It's the PS2
Alright.
backwards compatibility. That's that only the original Fats can do.
That was beautiful, by the way.
One second.
The PlayStation 2 and the PS3, the original backwards compatibility was incredible.
It's because they literally put a PS2 in the PS3.
All right,
No,
so
I know that.
just to be perfectly clear, according to Dude, all PS3s can play PS1 games, but only fat PS3s can play PS2 games. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. So we will find out if
And
that is true. I
If you know
don't
what you're
doubt it.
doing,
I'm not going to
if
argue
you know
with
what you're
Dude on
doing,
this.
your PSP can play any PS1 game.
All right. So,
What?
Yeah. If you hack your PSP, it can play any PS1 game that you put
Well,
on.
that's a hack. Normal people can't do that, dude.
That's not even that hard nowadays.
Oh, come on, man. Like you're spouting platitudes that normal people can't do.
us
Just
mere
because
mortals.
you're an autistic retard like the rest of us, and come on, man.
You do realize you just follow a list of things on a website that to hack things nowadays, especially when it comes to like PSP, original Xbox, Vita, Wii U, Wii.
I don't know. Do you have that website you could send to me so I could do it?
Yeah.
Because I'm like the retard's retard. So like,
Which one do you want?
What,
all
yeah,
of
what
them?
would you like to hack?
it's like
I'll do the. Do you have a Wii U?
I do not have a Wii U. I do
Who
not.
has a Wii U?
I do.
I do, but it's broken.
Dude does, and I wish I had a Wii U.
You want to know why? Because that's originally how I was playing GameCube games on stream. Because I could hacked Wii U can play GameCube games.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
very
makes
true.
a lot of sense.
Very true.
But
Because
Dude
it-
does have
It literally
a
plays in
background
Wii mode.
in computer science, so he definitely has a leg up.
Yeah, no, I'm giving Dude a hard time, but no, he's extremely smart. Yeah, no, if you know the tricks, which I know,
To be honest, the
probably-
hardest thing is just dragging and dropping into the right folders. That's it.
Yeah,
Just
Ryan
well.
can do that.
Well,
Also-
I'm gonna message
Especially
you
on
after
Windows.
this.
Especially on Windows. I've done it using a Linux computer, so that makes it harder.
Ryan's gonna be. I dragged and dropped it and broke everything. What went wrong?
No, I need to actually learn how to drag and drop better on a Windows PC.
Carl, were you about to say something?
I don't.
Yeah, I think Dude's right about the PS1 games are on every
PS1?
model, but just not the PS2.
Did you Google it?
Of course, I had to.
I wasn't
gonna
even
say-
going to Google. I was actually going to go off once we're off stream and once we're done talking after stream.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
too much
actually gonna
work,
do
so
it.
I decided to Google it and just save everyone the time and effort.
I wasn't gonna argue with Dude because
Because-
he usually knows what he's talking about.
I would say so, yeah, but I don't think I'm able to play PS1 games on mine because I think they're still region locked.
It might be region locking. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, mine's a
That's-
Japanese PS3, so that's why.
that might be where it is. You might have to hack
Yeah.
your PS3 to be able to play the PS1 games.
Yep.
And if you don't have any Japanese PS1s,
That makes sense. So,
No,
that's
even
back when
I-
region locking still mattered.
Yeah, but I got a
Yeah.
PS2. It's fine. I'm not too worried
Yeah.
about it.
It's just that the PS3 makes it easy to be able to do it on an HDMI cable.
Yeah, but I hate the stupid PS3 controller, so I'm at an impasse.
I like the PS3 controller.
I don't.
Well, to be honest,
floaty.
if I play PS1 games, PS1 or PS2 games now, I use a PS5 controller because I'm using it on my PC.
That's fair. That's fair.
yep.
No.
So, but anyways,
I'm autistic on when it comes to that authenticity.
yeah, he's been playing all his GameCube games on stream with an actual GameCube controller.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, in regards,
I need to get an actual N64 controller working on my PC because my adapter doesn't work
Yes.
anymore.
Yes.
No modern control stick works like that original N64 control stick.
No. No, it doesn't.
I'm finally glad that someone else understands.
That was
It's why
360 degrees of fun.
there's a reason why Super Mario 64 sucks to most people who play it with a modern controller.
I play it with the original controller, and I loved it.
Yep.
It was, yeah.
Apparently, that's the correct way to play.
Exactly.
That's one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario 64.
I mean, I still think Sunshine is better, but if you play it with the original controller, it's way better.
I've never played Sunshine. I'll have to do that.
Well, dude's just saying playing Mario 64 with a N64 controller rather than a more modern controller is better.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least with Sunshine, it uses the GameCube controller for the control stick. It's not too bad if you use a modern controller. It's more the analog triggers that's the issue.
Well, one of the reasons that the 64 controller works for me is because I have giant fucking alien hands. I'm 6'4", and literally I could palm the face of probably everybody here. So like that awkward controller worked for me. And
I think you're someone that uses the Duke on the original Xbox.
No, well, I've used it, yes, but no, I don't like it.
It's got big hands, not giant hands. There's a difference.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. The Duke. It was.
I actually have a Duke.
I hate the Duke.
I still have my original Xbox with the reason that I bought it was Knights of the Old Republic.
For deployment.
Actually, what's funny is it's extremely easy to hack an Xbox now.
That's what I hear. So
you just need a specific game and a dongle that plugs into a controller port that takes an old USB port. So you pretty much just use a save game exploit to hack your Xbox.
Or you solder a chip.
Dude, he's so much smarter than all of us. Like, what the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, though, once you have all the materials, it's literally just drag and drop.
Yeah, that sounds much easier than soldering because I've never done that before.
Yeah,
I've never
done hardware. I don't do hardware modifications. I only do software modifications.
Okay. So, anyways, back to the topic at hand. I wanted to comment on because dude showed Symphony of the Night, which is a cornerstone of my genre, being Metroidvanias. I've only played through it in its entirety once, and that was the Xbox Live Arcade version. It was okay. I don't have any. It's not huge for me. I ended up playing it again just the other day because it came up on my roulette stream last week, and I only 15 minutes, so it's not really a fair judgment on it. But the 15 minutes I had playing, I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. So I don't really get all the love for it. Not that it's bad. It's just it's not for me. Metroid
you don't like fantasy.
far above.
True.
I don't dislike fantasy. It's just I like sci-fi a lot more than I like fantasy. But no, and that doesn't even have anything to do with the aesthetics of the game. It's just like one of my biggest issues is just like how slow the movement is in that game.
You need to know all the tricks.
Yeah, and like it's been
like turning around and using the back step.
Yeah, like I played through it like that one time was in like 2016, and I haven't played it since. So I only remember bits and pieces of it. But if I remember correctly, the opening scene, you're like sprinting like crazy fast, and then as soon as you actually get control of your character, you're freaking slow for most of the game. And that was one of my issues with it. And another one, this isn't specific to this game, but just something that I don't like in general, when you can't move and attack at the same time. You have to stand still to attack, is a pet peeve of mine, which is one of the things why
that's why you jump before you attack.
Yeah, but you can't always do that because you need to hit, depending on where the enemy is.
Depending on the weapon, you can actually point it downwards whenever you're in the air.
Okay. But yeah, that's one of the things that I was not a huge fan of.
Kicking your ass on this one.
I'm just telling you things that I don't care for in games. And that's one of the things that I was not a huge fan of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, because you can't move and attack at the same time.
Bloodstained has the same things. It's made by the same guy, so it has the same mechanics.
So Igarashi, so
jump.
Which makes sense on why they're both very similar.
Yes. So jump whenever you attack, and you can move while you're attacking.
Neil, what was your favorite 97 game? We need to move on.
I
Quite
have
frankly, I'm on 3 hours of sleep, and quite frankly, I'm gonna vomit GoldenEye 007 all over you and just leave at this point.
Well, I might as well just go GoldenEye 007 since you said it.
Well, that
Yes!
was on my list because I do love GoldenEye. So, but yeah, if you want to take off, go ahead and give us yours, and you can.
No, I'm kidding. It was a joke, but no, I mean,
Too many tangents tonight.
well, I'm surprised because Neo hates tangents. And
I
we went
don't
on a
hate
lot of them.
tangents.
Yes, you do, sir.
No, I don't.
He's like,
That wasn't a very convincing no.
Sorry, Neo, go. My apology.
Okay. Well, that was I don't even know if I can narrow it down to one, but I've got 6 here, and yeah, GoldenEye was one of them because I've arguably out of the 6 I have here, that's the one I spent the most time playing.
Nice.
But
One of these days, I need to sit down and actually complete that game. I've never actually beaten it all the way through.
Really, I did. A couple
I
times.
think it's because whenever I had an N64 as a kid, I'd never owned the game. And by the time I could, I already had like Halo.
Gotcha. Yeah, I beat it on the easy and medium.
Kind of hard
I
to beat
don't think
Halo when it comes to console first-person shooters.
Yeah. But yeah, GoldenEye, I don't know if I don't think I ever beat it on the hardest difficulty, but I know I beat it on easy and medium. But yeah, GoldenEye. Some others that were some of my favorites from 97, Shadows of the Empire, Star Fox 64. I didn't realize this until today when I was looking through games from 1997 that this game was from 97. I thought it was newer, but Mega Man X4, behind the original trilogy, that's my next favorite Mega Man game is X4. And then as I often say, there's like 3 genres I typically don't do, and RTS is one of them. But the one RTS I liked, I never played it online. I was never bold enough to play it online, but I did like this game a lot. It was Total Annihilation, if anyone even remembers that game. It was the spiritual predecessor, not successor, to the Supreme Commander games. Because
what's crazy is I think you're going to say Age of Empires, because that one was also on that list.
That's
love Age of Empires.
That's probably Carl's.
That's one of the few RTSs I've actually played.
I never played Age of Empires until like last year, and I only did that because I had easy achievements. But yeah, I typically don't do RTSs, but I did like.
How much do I have to pay you to play a JRPG? Like how much?
I don't know.
Like Mario and Luigi count?
No, and I have to pick it. But how much?
It's like a proper JRPG, like Persona.
They are proper JRPGs.
Brothership?
How much? I'm asking how much. How much do I have to pay you?
Dude
convinced you to Dark Souls. What do I have to do?
I had already started Dark Souls years before I met Dude.
That's what I'm saying. He got you to come back though. What do I need to pay you? What are we looking at?
Dude Souls was my idea. I to him. I think
he's regretting that decision, but actually, I think he might not be regretting it as much recently.
I missed the most recent episode. I need to watch it, especially if Dude's pissing you off, dude.
Like, no, Dude isn't pissing me off. Dark Souls is pissing me off. But the first 2 streams were nothing but anger-inducing. Because last week was episode 5, so streams 3, 4, and 5 have all been overall pretty positive. I have not hated it like I did the first 2 streams.
Lies.
No, I started it.
Just kidding.
I started Dark Souls in like 2019 and got like the first achievement and dived it, and I was like, I'll come back to it eventually. And so I'm glad that I've got someone who knows the game to help coach me through it. But yeah, as for JRPG, I have zero interest in playing a JRPG. So it would
all right. So how much do I have to pay you? That's what I'm saying.
I'll have to think about it. But
you have to think about money.
Yeah, thinking about money.
How much it would take to get me to play a proper JRPG? Because how much I don't like.
Is it going to be at least Blue Dragon because it's at least on Xbox?
I could see that. It's got a banger soundtrack. You might be into the boss fight music.
Well,
I'll be your Huckleberry. There you go.
I think the lead singer for Deep Purple actually did the lyrics for that song.
Ooh, I got an idea. How about you join us at Monster Hunter?
That's not a JRPG.
It technically is.
I would be much more open to that.
Well, if you're going that route, then so is freaking Dark Souls.
Yes, it technically is a JRPG.
Well, if he's
So is
open to that-
Yakuza.
Then I'm
They
already playing
consider
Dark
it.
Souls. Then I'm already playing a JRPG because I'm playing
No,
Dark Souls.
no. If he's open to that, then no. Dark Souls doesn't count. You need a real JRPG.
I
One
would
that
be open.
would irritate the snot out of you.
Yeah, with teenagers.
Yeah.
So now you're
Um,
thinking Persona.
Pretty much any JRPG is teenagers. Let's be honest here.
But I would be open to Monster Hunter. I was actually making a list
Nope.
today
I
of.
don't think Lost
ones-
Odyssey was teenagers, was it?
No, that's a little different. They're immortal beings, so that doesn't count.
But anyways, literally today I was creating a list of games. After I'm done with Dude Souls and I've beaten Dark Souls, and I move on to something else, I thought maybe we could get a group together and start doing like a regular Wednesday group gaming night. And I was thinking about going.
Well,
I made
remember
a
you're
list
gonna
of
have
co-op
you're gonna
games.
watch me play the Dark Souls first.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Dude beat Dark Souls in like a stream. So
It's not gonna be one stream, but still.
The new
Uh,
Monster Hunter Wilds beta comes out on Halloween for Xbox and Steam for crossplay too.
But yeah, so I'm definitely open to starting something, and I just added Monster Hunter to the list. So
You can also do Warframe.
Boo.
If you want, I'll be your Huckleberry for Monster Hunter.
but we can talk about that after.
Ryan, was that a
afterwards.
boo for me?
No, that was a boo for him. It's always a boo for him.
Gotcha.
Boo earns.
Him
Boo
being
earns.
me or him being Carl?
No, you, dude.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Wait, why
it's
me?
Wait,
always
me,
boo
me
for
or
you.
dude? You just said you, dude. Now, are you talking about dude or are you talking about me?
No, it's you, dude, Nerdy Neo.
Well, now
How long-
he's
how long
dude.
have I
I'm
known you?
Neo.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
the
you are-
dude.
you
He's
are
the
dude.
so-
I'm
She's the dude.
He's the
'Cause
dude.
we're all
She-
dudes. Hey,
She's the dude. We're all dudes.
hey,
So,
I'm a
I knew
dude.
what you meant. Right, I just messed with you.
She's
'cause
a dude.
dude's on the stream because I do that all the time, especially like on Achievement Chasers. I'll be talking to someone in chat. I'll say, "Yeah, dude," and I'm talking to the person in chat, not dude who's on the stream with me. So I was just messing with you.
I know you were.
But Pop Culture says no love for Blast Corps. I did like Blast Corps. I didn't own it, but that was the first N64 game I ever played because it was one that my friends had. And
You know what's
I
funny?
did like
as,
that game.
as I was going through the rare replay, I started playing Blast Corps, but then I got attracted to something else. But I've gotten through every game up to Blast Corps in the rare
Okay.
replay
Nice.
when
You
it
know
comes to
what?
the achievements.
I have a JRPG you need to play.
Oh,
It's one of my
goodness.
favorites. Final Fantasy Tactics. Do it.
Oh,
Which one, the PSP or the PS1?
yes.
The one that was on the Game Boy Advance. So I'm.
That's Tactics Advance. Actually, that's the hardest one to get because it's only been released on the Advance. It's never been re-released.
Yeah. So well, Advanced.
It does have
actually-
retro achievements though, so
Advanced I actually saw could actually hold on. Well, you know what? So
While you're looking that up, my
I'm not
last...
looking it up.
Oh,
I'm not looking it up. Get a
I thought you were
PSP.
looking something. I thought you were looking
Get
it
a
up.
PSP. I'm sorry. Get a Game Boy Advance, and we'll watch you play it on stream.
well, you can just do it through retro achievements.
Yeah, I was say I had
Yeah.
a Game Boy Advance. My Game Boy Advance SP is my favorite handheld, but it
I
got
did
stolen.
look retro achievements up. I'm gonna do that because you.
Yes, join us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Neo,
Um,
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Come on now.
I will look into it.
You boo.
It's
Come on.
Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll say that as much.
He's being so grumpy.
So the last one that I wanted to talk about from '97 and might be my favorite was Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. I love that game. It's probably my least favorite out of all of the Kyle Katarn games, but I still love that game a lot. It was like probably my main Star Wars game as a kid, and still does. I often talk about when talking about Jedi Knight that it has one of the most unique things of like when it comes to a morality system in a game that I've seen. I don't even know if I've ever seen another game do it quite like Jedi Knight does, and they do it really cool. So, but yeah, Jedi Knight. That's really the game that made me fall in love with Kyle Katarn. He's my second favorite Star Wars character. And I would love to see that get a proper like Night Dive remaster. That would be fantastic. So, and I guess Carl, I don't think we've heard from on favorite game of 97.
Star Fox 64.
Nice.
Good one. That was my first N64 game when I got my N64 for Christmas. It came with Star Fox.
Yeah, love that game.
Same.
Said it so many times on different shows. Love it.
To be honest, the main reason why I haven't tried to go for the achievements on that is because I don't have an original N64 controller working on my computer.
I do have. Oh, go ahead.
Mine was Super Mario 64. We had that one.
I had both
Okay.
Star Fox 64 and Super Mario 64 when I got the N64 first.
My parents actually got the original version. Literally for that Christmas, they had to stand in line for 4 hours. At like 5:30 in the morning, and so it was just Super Mario 64, and yeah, that was an incredible Christmas. My favorite one ever.
I'm very much looking forward to going back and playing Star Fox 64 again, and this time for achievements, because I played through one of my first. It was my second completion on retro achievements was Star Fox Assault, and it just made me want to go back and play Star Fox 64 because Star Fox 64 is just so much better than Star Fox.
Well, Star
Assault.
Fox 64 does have achievements, so.
Yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I am very much looking forward to playing Star Fox 64 again for the first time since I was a kid. So, all right, great. Another great answer. Yeah, 97, a lot of great games from that year. There were other games that I played that I liked, but they weren't ones that I loved so much that I had to mention them. So I did not write them down, but I do remember that there were other ones that I was like, oh yeah, I like that game. So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and go around the horn here and let everyone plug their stuff before we head on out here. So, Dude, besides Dude Souls tomorrow night, anything you want to plug?
Thursdays, Saturday, and Monday I stream my own games. I'll be starting Metroid Prime 2 on Thursday. So because I've already done it on stream, but this time it's finally has retro achievements, so I'm playing it for the achievements this time around.
Yeah,
Looking like it looks like some crazy achievements for some of the bosses, like beating them quickly.
Yeah, so far I've done all of them so far except for 2 of them.
Okay, so it sounds like they're not too bad.
The first one is for beating the Bomb Guardian in 35 seconds, which I skipped it. I'm like, I don't know how this is even possible. The other ones I've done, they took a good number of tries, but they're definitely doable. And I just did because I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's like the larva thing you fight at the end of the
Chikra?
the Dorvis bog boss. There's 2 forms. There's the larva form, and then there's the adult form. And there's a speed run achievement for each of them. And the speed run for the larva form is more difficult, in my opinion, than the one for the adult form. I actually got, as of right now, for the adult form, I am number 2 on the leaderboard, and I was behind. I almost had first place, but the boss, he had like 1 hit left, moved out of the range of my weapon. Otherwise. And so it added like an extra 5 seconds before I could get in range to shoot him again. If he had just been a little bit closer for that one shot, I would have gotten number 1 on the leaderboard, because the number 1 on the leaderboard is only like 3 seconds ahead of me. I went back and attempted it again, but I didn't make it. But the Spider Ball Guardian, I tried it once, and it's 3.5 minutes, and I got like 5:15. I don't even know how it's possible to get 3.5. And
it'd be so much easier if we could use the Wii version because you bounce because of the jump ball.
Yeah, exactly. One of the biggest issues with the Spider Guardian one, though, is that there's no save room before the boss. You have to go through a bunch of stuff. So anytime you don't make it, you have to do a ton of stuff just to get back to the boss room again, which is ridiculous.
Reminds you of Dark Souls, doesn't it?
Yes, it very much so. It's just the bosses aren't as hard. It's just if you're trying to beat it under a certain time limit, then you have to keep attempting it over and over again.
I think I'm gonna make it so that my speed run is the time when I'm going for the speed run achievements. So I'm gonna go through the game 3 times.
Okay. So when you're doing the speed run achievement for beating the game in under 3 hours, when you get to the bosses, if you don't make the time for the achievement, are you going to restart the boss fight, or are you just going to keep going?
I think I'm gonna restart the boss fight.
Okay. So, but yeah, Metroid Prime 2 is great. I love that game. So I am having fun playing through it again. It's just some of these timed achievements for the bosses kind of suck. But yeah, dude does all of his achievement hunting on Rumble, and I'm pretty sure I pre-linked everyone's
I'm also
stream.
on Kicking Odyssey if you don't like Rumble.
Oh, I did not even realize that. But I do have the link to Dude's. Yes, I have the link to all three of my panelists here. Their links are in the stream description.
Well, if you're in
you wanna
Neo's
go check it out.
Discord, I always post all three whenever I go live.
Yeah, oh, that's right. So, but yeah, all right, and yeah, he'll be coaching me through some more Dude Souls tomorrow night, and we'll see how that goes because I'm getting close to Ornstein and Smog or whatever his name is, and I don't think that's going to be very fun.
There's a bigger boss on the way there, though.
So this Silver Knight is worse?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my goodness! Oh crap! Well, we'll get to that tomorrow night.
And
So
he doesn't take any. What's funny is he doesn't even take that many hits. It's getting to him that's the problem.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily the boss fight itself. Oh, and right as we're about to wrap up here, Snapple Rai Rai is coming in saying hello. Good evening, Snapple Rai Rai. Since you're just coming in while we're about to wrap up, I definitely recommend going back and catching the stream afterwards. But Ryan, what do you got going on? Anything you want to plug?
Well, actually, no, not at this point. I don't. Ironically, so after I kind of do this outro, I do have to go because literally I'm working off 3 hours of sleep.
No
So
worries.
that being said, I'm working on putting stuff together. 2 new shows, hoping to get off the ground. But no, over the next couple of days, I won't be doing anything until Friday, and should be on Real Wade Nation's gaming channel. And we
Okay.
might be talking. Well, no, it was supposed to be the Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think we're just going to be doing gaming stuff. If
Okay.
not, you
haven't
can
seen
find me
Wade
at
in a while.
yeah, no, Wade's been busy. You can find me at Legion Talk. Legion Talk is basically pop culture, Hollywood, and how they're ruining everything. Legion Wire is, of course, sounds like it does. It's politics, play off the Daily Wire, and Legion Teaches History is a show that I cover documentaries and just actual history in general from like a textbook, because unfortunately kids in today's world, and not just kids but adults my age, they don't understand what history means, or that when you call somebody a certain name it has ramifications, like mustache man from World War II. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so tired, guys, that I was literally like
No
half
worries.
falling asleep. So I will talk
Well,
to you, Neo and Carl, later. Dude, great to talk to you, man. A lot of fun. Don't let up on Neo. Make sure he plays a JRPG,
An actual JRPG.
an actual JRPG that pisses him off. It'll be so funny, and I'll watch that. So yeah,
So
gentlemen.
Final Fantasy 13.
Yes.
No, I don't wish that upon even my worst enemies. No.
I actually have the completion on that
All
game
right.
twice.
Thank you as always, Ryan. You have a great night, buddy.
I actually have every
Bye,
achievement and every trophy.
See you guys.
So what's the deal with Final Fantasy 13?
It's Hallway Simulator.
It's what we like to call in the business lame and gay.
It only gets good 30 hours in.
It's got to be better than going than Final Fantasy 11, right? Since you can't actually even play it anymore, or at least
You
on
can
Xbox.
still play Final Fantasy 11 because there is fan servers for the PS2 version, and on the PC version is still playable.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
Yeah, I was just talking about the Xbox version, but okay, you had to go and ruin it. So, all right, Carl.
By the way, the
got
PS2
any
version is actually supported with retro achievements.
for Final Fantasy
11.
11? Interesting. I'm curious on how that works.
Fan server
Okay.
that they partnered with.
Cool. So, All right, Carl, what do you got going on that you want to plug? Anything?
Let me see here. I
Got
got a
your
show tomorrow
calendar.
night with Rab from Hell Yeah Man podcast.
Okay.
So we're gonna learn more about him tomorrow, and then Thursday, tentatively, if nothing seems to be changing, but Thursday, if everything goes right, I'm going to be playing the Monster Hunter Wilds beta with Fernando and a couple other people. So
Cool.
if you want to hop in on that time, Neo, if you're free, everyone basically has the same weapons and armor, so it's a good chance for you to learn, and you can chill with some huckleberries, as they would say. And then on top of that, too, Saturday, have to work out a time with my guest. I'm going to have Mugen Lord on. So I'm going to see what time that is. I got to message him. I've been so busy and tired because of work and everything else.
You better talk about a freeware fighting game engine while he's on there.
We'll probably talk about some stuff like his comic and everything else like that.
I'm talking about the old Mugen fighting engine.
Gotcha.
Oh.
That's how I got into Marvel vs. Capcom mechanics, because of Peter Griffin.
Right on. And that's really all I have. Maybe a couple video games. Friday will be the first official day of Mass Effect November, so I will be playing Mass Effect 1.
Awesome. Sweet. So, cool. All right. As for myself, as mentioned, I will be back with more Dude Souls tomorrow night with Dude coaching me. Nothing on Thursday because I will be busy on Thursday night. And then hopefully my internet will hold up so I can return to Metroidvania Monday on Monday with some more AM2R. And oh shoot, I was going to talk to Ryan about next Tuesday because but oh no, that's not never mind. It's our other guest that I need to hear back from. So we will be back to the plan next week for another episode of Top 5. We're going to be ranking our top 5 favorite video game movies. That is the plan for now. It might have to change. We'll see. But that is the plan as of this moment. So that will do it. Oh, and Snapperari says, I thought Final Fantasy 13 was okay. Wouldn't call it a Final Fantasy game, in my opinion. I don't know much about Final Fantasy, so I can't say one way or the other. So, all right. Well, with that, that'll be it for episode 30 of Party Chat with my good buddy Dude. And thank you, as always, Carl, for being an awesome co-host, and all you guys for hanging out with us in chat. Appreciate you guys. You guys all have a good night. Have a fun and safe Halloween, and we will see you all later. And as usual, in the meantime, game on.